Yo,
Go ahead, dip him.
did what? What we talking about?
Go ahead,
We
dip him.
starting. We starting on talking about feet in the first sentence.
Man. Nah, you started off talking about. See, Leo, look
No,
how
you
niggas
the one.
switch
You
up.
the one talking about dipping them in. Well, what
Oh
else was we dipping?
man, oh man, yo, look how
Try
niggas
to
switch
set me
up.
up. No, you try to set me up, yo.
Niggas moving walk.
Hey man, it's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta dip the toesies.
What type of dipping sauce you be using?
All right, all right, all right.
That's not what you was. That's not what.
Nope,
That's not.
not at
Why they
all.
got me in cuffs?
Yeah,
Why I'm in cuffs?
put him under the jail.
Why it's so dark down here?
Put him below the rat and roach infested place.
Below that, now
Below
they
the
got me in Dante's Inferno.
I was gonna say put him directly in hell. Like not even start like mid tier, like fifth layer. Probably that's probably a good space
Mm-hmm.
for toe suckers. Yeah, that's a good spot. Fifth layer of hell.
Is it? Well, who else down there? Who's like in the layer below them?
I don't know all the layers off top, so like I don't know. You probably down there with like public masturbators.
Like sex pests.
Sex pests. Just sex pests is hilarious. Just little nasty guys.
Those little miscreants.
Sexual miscreants.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily deviants. You're not like y'all not terrible people, but y'all I'm looking down on y'all. Obviously, y'all kinks is to be shamed. Like the nigga that's asking for farts. He's down. No, actually, no, he's a little bit further. He's a deviant.
Even though, like, technically that probably falls under miscreant behavior. Yeah, I want you
He's
out of here.
deviancy. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
you
want you
gotta
out of
go
here
lower.
for
Yeah.
that one. You are a delinquent, a reprobate, a
Re
wretch,
Yeah, no, sick behavior.
contemptible wretch.
You're using the
Um,
old timey language.
what else we got? What else we got? Or not what else we got, but where we
He
want
said,
to
what else
start
we got?
next?
Like that was on the agenda, y'all.
Yeah, like that was
All that was
it.
a part of it.
So I guess I'll start with the customary, man. What's going on, man? How we feeling, man? How we feeling on
Man,
this fine Saturday? We recording on a Saturday pod. The energy be a little different on Saturdays. I'm not gonna hold you.
in a good way. In a good way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm feeling good. I don't know what I've been eating lately, but man, I have been. You know what? This is the first topic, so I'm not even gonna start with that. I've been good. I've been good. How about
Okay.
you, man?
I've been cool, man. I've been cool. I've been just hustling, man, moving around a lot, man. Like I'm gonna be out of town for a week this week. I'm gonna be home for like 2 days, then I'm going out of town again for like 10 days.
You always going out
Um
of town for work.
yeah. Well, once for work and then once for vacation. But then I got I'm gonna be in Miami way later this year. I got invited to go to South Dakota.
South Dakota? What the fuck is in South
Yeah,
Dakota?
yeah. So I guess yeah, let's get into this. So one, I don't know. I have no fucking clue what's in South
Who
Dakota.
the fuck just invites somebody to go to South Dakota?
Well, I think I got again. I didn't even ask for the full specifics. What
You
I'm
should
thinking
have.
is, I
It's a
have a
setup. It's
friend.
about to be a get out situation. What else is in South Dakota other than get out?
But no, so I have a friend from college that and she does oh my god, I forgot her major, but she used to travel all around the country and be in weird ass places and shit like Seattle.
Okay.
And not that Seattle's a weird ass place, but like it'd be like she didn't actually live in Seattle. She was like 30 minutes from Seattle, but like like when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm from so and so, Washington." I'm like, "I don't know where that is," and they're like, "Yeah, well, it's 30 minutes from Seattle." Gotcha.
Gotcha. Just say Seattle then.
Exactly right. But it's like saying you from Detroit when you from 26 minutes from Detroit, but like no one knows the dumbass suburb you live in near Detroit, so
Yeah.
just call it Detroit. So it's one of those, but she's always been living those places and doing shit like that, whether it's like botany or geology. She was always that type of person. So South Dakota makes sense for her. The type of beat she be on.
Gotcha.
Um, so I think the way I think it's going again, I don't even know the specifics. I didn't ask too many questions yet. But I think it's like she out there, and then it's like a couple of us is just gonna go out there. And granted, I mean, I don't know nothing about South Dakota, but I was thinking to myself, like, I'm never gonna go to South Dakota again. So hell, and before this, I was never gonna go in the first place. So I mean, I might as well go. Fuck it, why not? See what's out there. Maybe they got bison or some shit.
I think South Dakota is where the Mount Rushmore is.
Is it? I have no
Pretty
clue.
sure.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, if you from South Dakota and you listening, yo, shout out to the I can't even say the real ones. I mean, just shout out to you for being out there, I guess.
Shout out to the South Dakotians.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse Memorial.
That's it. End the list.
Yeah, capital of South Dakota is Pierre. Pierre, you want to come out here? Sioux Falls is in South Dakota. See, I was right about that. That was the only thing I know. I mentioned Sioux Falls, and niggas like, how do you know? I was like, yeah, listen,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the fuck is Sioux Falls?
listen, man. I just every once in a while I don't know places from these places, and that's all I got. I can't even tell you why I know Sioux Falls, but
What you be on?
like, what are you on? I love they got a things to do, and they got like a whole bunch of shit that's like, bro, who's doing any of this? All these national state parks and shit, like nothing
Hey
but
man, don't
it's hella
knock
land.
nature's
It's like,
beauty.
oh no. See, that's part of the reason why I'm like I want to go for real, because it's like I know that should probably look crazy out there with all them trails and the mountain. And then, like I said, like the person we going to link up with is that type of person, so we would see that. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I'm going out there with a homebody and like I'm gonna get out there and just smoke for 6 days. Like you know what I mean? Like which we
Yeah.
will do. I mean, granted, but
Is
like you know what I
weed
mean?
legal in South Dakota?
Man, I don't care about none of that shit.
I'm just saying, you going to a predominantly white area. You about to
Man, I live in a predominantly white area. Stop playing with me.
weed's also legal where you at though.
Yeah. Well, it's not legal per se. It's just not illegal.
It's decriminalized.
Yeah.
They
Um,
they took the criminal elements away.
Something like that. Matter of fact, let me check South Dakota's marijuana laws, yo. Let me see what's up with them.
Yeah, I put that fear in them now. Yeah.
That nigga,
Yeah.
man, that shit is not going. Let's see. Oh, okay. So they legalized Delta 8 and some other shit, and apparently them shits is everywhere. But the actual like weed itself don't be out there. Huh. Okay. Yeah.
Damn.
All
Hey,
right. Cool.
Delta Eight's not bad. I use
Oh
Delta
yeah,
8.
nah. Them should get you. Them shits to get you feeling strange.
I was gonna say it's a different type of high though. Like it doesn't. It feels. I don't know how to describe it. It feels cloudy. It feels foggy compared to like normal marijuana.
Guys, I'm feeling funny.
It's not even in a bad way. It's different.
Oh no, actually, weed is fully legal in Jersey. Sorry, it's not just decriminalized; it's fully legal.
Yeah, I know more about Jersey than you do because I'm surveying the land with Chief Key because we about to blow it up.
It's a good thing I don't care. Like that's the beauty of it, right? The beauty is that I don't care. It's like
The beauty that you nigga blow up your whole state, man. I don't even fuck with it like that
I
anyway.
don't know. So what? So what?
You,
So
bro,
what?
you there?
Well,
So
I'm there. Like, bro, y'all make such a big deal out of shit. He said, like, bro, I hate when y'all do this fear mongering shit. Like,
you're
he
mockery,
said, bro, it's
bro.
in the sky. I can see the
They
missile.
have the nukes in the air en route.
I can see the chemtrail.
So you telling me there's no way that it could just go off target and hit New York? That's what
It's
you're
like,
saying?
bro,
Fear
like,
mongering.
yeah, so let me see. What states is it fully illegal? Idaho, not on there. Wyoming,
Of course.
Kansas, and South Carolina. These are the states I'd expect.
Those are the only states, really? It's
Well,
damn.
hold on. If we're talking about fully illegal, there's way more than that. But these are states that are it's fully illegal. They got no medicinal, no decriminal. They got nothing. Like you know what I
Damn.
mean? Like they
They
just like
said you got cancer, just deal with it.
it's only 4 states like that though. Like where it's no across the board.
That's
Even
sick
like
shit.
the Georgias and all that are like mixed. Medicinal is like a little bit da da
Oh yeah.
da like all of that shit. But
I
like
know about Georgia.
Georgia's there's a couple Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Iowa, all the states you would expect. Iowa, Wisconsin are all like the no decriminalization, barely CBD oil for the medicinal.
why is weed even illegal in Idaho? Like, what else do they have besides potatoes? Why wouldn't you at least want some weed? Like, what you really gonna do?
I feel like in those type of states, it's probably easy to sell niggas on like fake dangers of it because like they don't know nothing for real. Like, I feel like that's probably disrespectful to say, but so what? Y'all live in Idaho. I don't care. Um,
What y'all gonna do? Get on some horseback and come find us?
get a horseback. What you gonna do? Load up your musket and come find me? Load
We
up your mousecatool?
we gonna get a potato launcher and start firing them across state lines.
And then gonna pull up with a t-shirt cannon. Like, I don't want to hear that. But yeah, no, I always thought like shit like this is nuts to me because like yeah, it's like why y'all fully legal medicinal? No, decriminalized? No, like no nothing, like no nothing at all. Fuck
That's
'em.
crazy. They just hate y'all. They not fucking with y'all at all.
Yeah, I don't even get it too.
I feel like
Um,
states that have weed illegal, y'all need to just make it across the board. Make alcohol legal. Make
oh yeah,
tobacco
see,
products legal.
I
Listen, y'all don't want niggas to have fun. No enjoyment of any kind.
nah, no, you can enjoy the liquor, just don't you can't take that bottle.
You know it'd be fucked up if they had weed was illegal, but they had spice legal, and that's all niggas was smoking.
Nah, that's
Imagine a
insane.
state
Yeah.
full of spice heads, the whole state full of spice.
Nah, stop.
Nigga, that's real life Gotham City.
Your spice is the state flower, yo. Like, stop playing.
Oh my god, that's terrifying to think about.
Yeah, nah, that is frightening. What you doing, Bailey? You want to be on the pod? You want to be in? Oh, she hitting her head now. Come on, Bailey, go ahead.
She on that spice.
You gonna have to grab her. She on that spice. Think about shit that I shouldn't have.
Spice is
That's
a
crazy.
crazy drug to think about. It's kind of scaly.
No, it really is. Like, and that's the crazy part is like I remember luckily the only time in my life where like niggas was consuming spice around me, I didn't know how to smoke at the time. So I was just wasting that shit. Like,
Oh, you was just pulling in and blowing it straight out. You
yeah, I
wasn't
was
feeling it.
just mm, like I wasn't feeling nothing. Meanwhile, niggas
I've heard
around me was big tweakers.
I've heard
Like,
too many stories, like more than 7 stories of people in real life, not even online, smoking spice one time and then just going crazy and never fully recovering.
yeah, nigga, my roommate told me a story. I'm pretty sure it was K2, but he was basically talking about how he had a roommate. Not a roommate. This was like he had like his friend like from high school, and it was like the year after they graduated. They was all chilling one night, literally smoking, drinking, as usual. And then he was like, "Oh, I got some K2, da da da, this and that." And they was just like, I don't even know what that is, but we got bud, so I'm not smoking whatever that is." Like,
I
you know what I
don't
mean?
need that.
Yeah, they're like, I don't understand. We picked up bud. I got liquor. Why are you adding some other shit to the pot? I don't understand. So they just wasn't with it. Like, so they didn't smoke none of it. So I guess he rolled his own shit up, da da da, do what he did, and he burnt that out. And then he was like, I want to go to the bathroom. And he was like, all right, cool. He went to the bathroom, and then like 10 minutes passed, and they're like, damn, that nigga must be taking a shit or something. And then they go to the bathroom. Nigga, the bathroom is door closed, lights off, and they're like, okay, maybe something wrong. And then eventually they go in there after like 5 more minutes, and he not even in there. And they're like, okay.
Hello.
So they searched their whole house. They searched bedrooms. He not in none of that because they thought maybe he like went to the bathroom and just went somewhere and passed out. You know what I mean? Like, he not in none of the beds. He not in the bathroom. He not in nowhere. They're like, yo, where is
That
this
spice
nigga? Like,
literally transported him to a different dimension.
so they was terrified. So they went outside, started looking for him, da da da, this and that. And at one point, they walking, and it's the guy and some girl that he's with, and they can hear like a muffled voice, and they're like, "Yo, where is that coming from?" Long story short, this guy locks himself in his trunk by accident. I don't.
How?
I to this day, he don't know. I don't know. They don't know. No one knows how this guy locked himself in his trunk. But when they opened the trunk finally, I guess after, I don't know, maybe he had a spare or something. I don't know what happened. They opened the trunk. This nigga is in the trunk, pants around his ankles, just smacked out of his mind. I was crying. I was like, well, shit, I guess he did go to the bathroom
Oh,
somewhere.
in his mind, that's what the bathroom was, a trunk. And he
Like,
closed the door behind him and locked it, yeah.
I'm screaming. I
I
was
can't.
just like, yeah.
Nothing worse than when you high, and this is the other people, not the dude that was off K2, because they just smoke regular bud. But it's nothing worse than when you high and then you get into a distressing situation like that,
Yeah,
and
word.
you start getting anxiety, your heart start pounding because you think everybody in here is high. This is some years ago, so weed was probably illegal, and then a nigga just disappear. And you imagine you got to get the police involved because a nigga went missing. Everybody high. That's a terrible situation to be in.
Nigga, I mean, even yeah, especially those. Nigga, the first time I had smoked, niggas got in a fight in front of me.
Oh,
Like
nigga, that would be it for me. I would have just went
I
home.
was sick. Nigga, I was
Yeah.
home. I was on my front
Oh,
porch. I was on my front porch with my brother and his friends. And then mind you, I'm smoking, and this nigga who was playing what's the name of the song? It's a Yo Gotti song. I gotta find it, yeah. Uh it's a Yo Gotti, somebody watching me.
oh man.
It's so mind you, it's like it's a sample of that, you know that song. I know it feels like somebody's watching me. You know that whole
Yeah.
shit, right? Like the one from the 80s. Like it's a sample of that, but it's Yo Gotti. He was listening to this shit all night on a repeat.
Oh,
Now,
I know niggas was sick. That's how the
yeah,
fight
no,
started, right?
but he was listening to it with his headphones. His headphones was dumping. Now, granted, the background context is, old boy used to be yerped up on occasion. And he was, he was into the oxys at the time and some of that other shit, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so he was playing this shit all night. We smoking, da da da, this and that, playing Tekken in between all that. I remember going outside and I was just like, now mind you, this is the first time because up until then I was wasting anything I had smoked. Like, and I had only smoked, I think maybe one time before that. So it's not like I was like doing this for years where I didn't know how to smoke. It was just like I wasn't even trying for real because I was
Yeah.
like, look, I don't think I'm getting cooked off of this, so I just don't even try no more. And then they showed me, I'm like, oh no, okay,
All right, that makes
okay,
sense.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. Felt that immediately. I'm like, yeah, okay, no, I get it. And so when I tell you, I was looking at the light, and I never seen a street light was undulating. Like that shit was just getting it was brighter and then dying down, getting lower and lower, and then getting bright. Like the light was breathing, nigga. Like
Oh yeah, this nigga was off the beans.
and then so I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, okay, man. And the whole time I could hear, him listening to the song, and he just clowning on. He just like, bro, you still listening to that shit, bro? Like, how you still listening to like why you mad, nigga? Like and then that song is really funny. Like it's just a hilarious song. But um just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with the shit. And he just kept trying to clown the whole night with it. Cause he was just like, bro, how you still listen to this shit on repeat, bro? Like, you really yerp out. Like, you fiended out right now. Like, without all of this shit. And then at one point, like I said, I'm cooked looking at the light, breathing and shit. And at one point, like, the dude who's clowning him is at the top of the steps. And the dude he talking to is always like, 3 or 4 steps down. He at the bottom of the steps. And so he clowned him, And then all I hear is the dude, who's playing Yo Gotti all night talk about so, okay, but if I take my headphones off and I take my chain off, and I was like, what does that mean? And then he just swings at him. And now, granted, I probably could have caught this sober, but me being smacked for the first time, I'm watching a light breathe, bro. I'm not catching nothing. And so literally he swing on him. He swing, hit him, don't really do much. Old boy come from the top of the steps, they get it in. And the worst part was old boy, the guy who was playing Yo Gotti all night, he had 2 of his friends with him. And you could tell, like, even they didn't really want to hop in because they looking at it like, dog, look, he just joning on you. Like, I
You
don't
fighting over a yoga, bro? I probably would have fought too, just because you're not about to call me a fiend, even if I am a fiend. That's fighting words. So I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I get
like
where you're coming from.
yo, stop calling me a fiend, even though I'm displaying evidence of fiendery in front
Yeah,
of
just
you.
because I popped 2 oxys, don't mean you could call me a fiend. I acting
Yeah.
like a fiend.
He said, bro, just
You
because I
want me to
popped
act
2
like a fiend? I can steal from this house right now.
He said, bro, just because I popped 2 oxys and I've been playing the same song all night, that does not mean it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's close. It's
First
close
off,
to
if playing the same song over and over again is fiend behavior, I am a huge fiend.
He said,
Nigga,
brother, man, they gotta lock me up.
they gotta invent a new word for where I am. I'm a mega fiend because I'll smoke and then you just get into like a loop and you just listen to the same song for 4 hours straight. Is that just me or?
Not 4 hours, but Yeah,
A long time. You
yeah,
listen to it
yeah, yeah.
about 50 times in a row.
Yeah, like I'll do that where like I'll get in the loop and I'll run a song back like 8 or 9 times straight, like 30 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fiend behavior. You a fiend. We both fiends. Fiend.
Nah, you a different type of fiend
I mean, yeah, he was off Oxy. That's different.
now.
So who won the fight? Was it the pillhead?
No, no, he lost. He lost. It was a resounding loss.
This is how he lost by a
But
large.
and it was funny though because whole thing happened and then he finally got into a position where he got into full mount. And for those of you who are UFC fans, you know what connects him in full mount.
Oh yeah, 4 months it's over.
And
Yeah.
he got the full mount, and then we kind of pulled him off. And I remember he was sick, like he was furious, like he was mad at us, like to the point where he wanted to fight us. And we was like, "Look, bro, it's me, my two brothers. Like we will jump you. Like just understand. Like it was some shit going on here. We ain't really want all of that going on here. Like
First off, you
so
in our house, nigga. You who just be fighting in another nigga house? Go
this nigga,
home.
this
Yeah.
yeah, these niggas." But yeah, no, it was just straight up like he was hot. I was crying because like he was dead serious about being mad. And I'm like, bro, we'll just jump you. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, but nigga, I'm not about to just let you whoop on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to let you
Destroy this
get,
man in our house.
yeah, and nigga pilt up. Like, bro, I know this ain't gonna be a good
This
scrap.
wasn't a fair fight, yeah.
Yeah, this ain't gonna be a good scrap at all, dog. Like, I'm not going for it. So I immediately was on something like, nah, I ain't with it. But that was the part that was killing me. Like, I'm just like, yeah, no, that's why I'm that first time, man. I'm like, bro, I wish y'all could have done anything different because that was not that would have been great for me not to experience that my first time.
Yeah. It's nothing worse. That's pretty bad, but there's nothing worse than being high and having to deal with the police.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
I've only
god.
had that. Well, not had it a few times. I've ran from
I was
some
gonna say I've had
real
that a
cook.
few times too.
Yeah,
By
we've
Coachella.
run from the boys before, like where we were on the parking deck. But that one wasn't that scary because like I knew y'all niggas. Like I just based on the logistics of where we were at, I knew there was no chance of us getting caught.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, he saw us. He's driving real fast, dog. We're on the steps of a parking garage. By the time you turn around and get back to, you're fried. You're done for. I'm already home.
Why even waste your time turning around? You thought we was just gonna sit there and wait for you?
Like we on the steps, and then like literally I see the lights, and he turned his lights on mad bright, shine the light on, and speed up. And I'm like, oh,
Oh,
okay,
come on, bro.
I'll
You
just
doing too
run.
much. Yeah,
Uh,
I'll just
like
run.
I'll just run. Like, and I'm on the steps, bro. I know you're not getting out your car to chase us. That wouldn't make sense. So it's like
Also,
really,
what? He saw y'all smoking weed, so that was what?
oh yeah, he seen the smoke and all of that. Like, so he
Yeah,
seen what we
well,
doing.
yeah.
But I was just like, dog, look, I don't care. You ain't gonna catch me.
Were y'all
Uh,
adults or were y'all kids?
no, we were adults, college. This is like 2021, maybe 20, something like.
I I could see him doing all that if it was kids smoking. You want to stop the kids from doing drugs. Like these are grown men. Grow up.
Hey, look, man,
Stop it.
them niggas take that shit so seriously. The only
They
other
got
thing
Dakota.
I had on campus was we had it was this white boy we was with, and I remember he I guess had been reading online was like, you heard mango and chocolate get you more high, and I'm like, oh, that's what's up. So he bought like a whole thing of mango, and
I heard that too, but I
and
thought
you
that
already
was for I thought that was for Molly. It's
well,
for
it's
weed
something.
too.
Well, yeah, I think it's something with weed with like the terpenes and weed or something like that. Well, basically, like it interacts with certain shit, and I don't know. So, mind you, listen, if a nigga give me a half a pound worth of sliced mango, I'm crushing that shit. So,
Oh yeah.
by all means, yeah, let's just try it out. Let's try it out. So I cooked the mango, and I guess I felt a little, a little up there. And then he was like, "Yo, so I got some chocolate, da da da, this and that." But like, you don't want it to just be like Hershey's. It's got to be like a lot of chocolate, like almost not pure, but like dark, like real. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Not really a big dark chocolate fan, but all right. This nigga proceeds to bring out cooking chocolate. I don't know if you know what baking chocolate. That shit is like 97,
I
98%
don't know what that is.
chocolate. That shit is not edible, bro. You are supposed to mix that in things to get the chocolate flavor. That is not edible though. Like it's not
This
a
nigga put out straight cacao.
basically, right? Like when I tell you, I took a nibble off of the edge, and when this shit was so bitter, it almost made me sick to my
Ooh.
stomach. I was like, "Oh no way!" This nigga proceeds to eat like a Hershey bar typed, not the whole Hershey bar, but let's say half of it. Like proceeds to eat a chunk that big, and he gave everybody like a little corner square. And nigga, I took a nibble. I did the the Squidward nibble where he took a
Yeah,
tiny. I did that, and I said, "Ugh, no, no way,
you
bro,
took
no
poison
shot."
damage. Ooh.
Yeah, I just took a shot. Ah, you've been poisoned, like nigga, like that. Immediately, ugh, ah, ugh.
Well, did it
Like,
work? Did it get him more smacked?
no, he turned blue and then he passed out. And they had to call the police.
Hello?
Well, again, apparently there's something with that baking chocolate where, again, it's not
Not
supposed to,
edible.
yeah, because it has
No,
a
when you say he
higher.
turned blue, did he like choke on it or just the chocolate is just like that? It just
So
did it to him.
the thing is, right? There's something in chocolate called theobromine, right? Uh,
Heard of that, yeah, yeah.
and overindulging in this can lead to restlessness, headaches, and nausea, and that's essentially what it was. Like he was feeling sick
Oh,
as
it's like
fuck.
a
He was feeling
overdose of
sick.
chocolate.
Nigga
Okay.
overdosed on, but yeah, he was cooking that shit because he smashed on that shit, and I was just like, "That's not a good idea." And yeah, no, he had a bad night. We had a great night, by the way. I left not too shortly after this. I left before. Actually, I left before I saw him take anything. I just kind of knew how this was gonna play out once I tasted it. And I was, that's it. No, this is terrible. I got some shit to do, y'all. Thanks for the night, though. I'll holler at y'all. And yeah, no, that was it. I got the hell up out of there. And they told me like, yeah, man, he was da da da, and I was like, yeah, I bet he was. That just didn't seem like the best idea.
Poor fella. I
Um,
will say, I don't know about weed, but I will say, the mango thing, or is it orange? I think it's oranges for Molly. That shit is true. That does work because I drunk like a almost a gallon of orange juice after taking some Molly, and man, when I tell you I was zooted.
yeah, I think it's all citrus. So I think it's orange, grapefruit,
Uh,
tangerines, all of that
Pineapple.
shit. Yeah,
Mm,
because they're basically saying it's something in the cytochrome. You know how to get with that
nigga,
shit.
scientists
Yeah,
just
like
mixing this shit, yeah.
yeah, you know how to get with that
Cytochrome,
cytophilophagia. You're like, oh, okay,
the
yeah.
lipocytes in the pineapple juice.
Oh yeah, the lidocytes in the pineapple juice. Yeah, I heard about those. They
Yeah.
friendly?
No.
He said no. They're gonna put you on your ass. Well, shit, we ain't even got to a topic yet. We 30. See, look, told you that's Saturday energy, man. We just be talking about fucking nothing, boy.
Because we off work, we don't got
Mm-hmm.
no job.
Mm-hmm. I'm sipping on some Riesling right now. You know what I mean? Feeling a little.
He's sophisticated. He drinking wine.
Well, yeah, I figured I was gonna drink a little wine for the box. I wanted a little sip, a little something, but I ain't want to like just sip it like IPA at like 3 p.m. Like,
I am drinking vodka and orange soda.
let's go. What
Classy.
what vodka you want?
Absolute's the only vodka I drink. Well, Absolute and Tito's. That's all I drink.
Okay. Okay. Tito's is a good mixer. I've had it straight, and it's some of the worst shit I've ever had. But it's a good mixer. I will say that.
I mean, I don't drink vodka straight. I don't like it. The only thing I drink straight is tequila and um Hennessy, cognac. I can drink whiskey straight. Pretty much just dark liquor in general. I'll drink bourbon, whiskey. I'll drink any dark liquor straight, but I can't drink white straight. I don't know.
Yeah, how about the tequila is probably the only thing that like between like 'cause I've done straight shots tequila, surprisingly good.
Hmm.
I've done straight shots of everything. I just I'm talking about lately because I remember there was a point in college where I did all of that shit, and I was just like, yeah, listen, now that I've got my list together,
Eventually, you grow up. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like now that I got my list together, I hate 90% of this shit. If we're being honest, like straight shots is I'm just not the guy who's like, I'm trying to get smacked as fast as possible. That's just not my goal. And I know some people who are just like, I don't do mixers because I don't want no juice. I don't want to feel bloated. I just want to get straight to it. I'm like, sure, I guess. But
I don't mind mixers, but it's got to be a. I don't like super sugary mixers. Like I used to
mhm,
like mix with like Arizona, and then I feel like shit the
yeah,
next day because of all the
yeah, all
sugar.
that syrup, all that sugar. Yeah.
Yeah. When I mix now, I'm using diet soda, so it's literally just the flavor with no sugar.
hmm Damn, this Grizzly fan getting cooked during game 2 in the stands. Shame.
What he do?
I don't know. It's a white boy getting packed out though.
Oh, I know what he did.
He just looked too young to even be engaging in a scrap with old boy. Like, I'm like, bro, you were like that's the worst part. Like, that's one thing I learned as a kid is like grown man strength. That shit is
Oh yeah.
real, 100%, and it is terrifying because there were niggas. I remember this was at a time. I think I was like 17 in high school, and mind you, I'm in a 1,000 pound club. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm feeling like I'm that nigga. I'm hitting crazy weights on the power clean and the deadlift and the squats and all that. I'm like, yeah, I'm strong, nigga. I wish a nigga would. And then I remember one of my brother's friends said something. So it was literally like a 2v2 or niggas a 2v2 wrestling match type beat. And niggas like, all right, fuck it. Mind you, these niggas is like 21 at the time or 22. So they weren't even really grown, but like
They
compared to
grown.
a 17-year-old. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're grown. And I remember we was wrestling, and mind you, these niggas is damn near like mind you, I'm coming from the perspective of I watch you niggas come to my house every night, smoke and drink, and never work out. You know what I'm saying? Like
You
I
got a
watch,
matter.
so I see what you niggas get into. I'm like, yo, we washing these niggas easy, dog. When I tell you these niggas was fighting for their lives, I'm like, yo, hold on. I should be able to yoke this nigga up and then just scoop him. How he fighting hard not to get yoked? Like, they got to a point to where like I could tell, like, oh, okay, like it's clearly a difference because y'all niggas ain't touched the weight. Y'all don't even work out. Y'all not built like that, but it's just something that's keeping you in this fight. And it's grown man strength.
Literally, just once you hit a certain age, your muscles they just go off.
Like, and that shit was just nutty to me though, because I just remember at the time thinking like, this don't even make no sense, bro. As much as I lift, I should be scooping and dumping you niggas, yo.
I
You
mean, you
niggas
only
weigh like,
lift so much as a 17-year-old.
well, yeah, right. But that's what I'm saying. Like at a 17-year, I'm thinking like, yo, I weigh 190, yo, you weigh 150. I should be dunking your stupid ass. Like, there's no way I shouldn't be cooking you right now. And niggas was just fighting for their life. Like they like, look, it ain't gonna be that though. It could be anything. It ain't gonna be that though.
That's why they was fighting so hard. I'm not about to get my ass beat by a 17-year-old. That's just
Yeah.
not happening.
I'm not about to let
I
no
don't care how strong you
17-year-old think he gonna scoop me,
are.
slam
I
me
don't
on my
care what
neck.
you think is going on. It's not about to happen.
It ain't gonna be that though.
Absolutely not.
Shit. Well, shit. Let's actually try to get something on this agenda. All right, we're 30.
Your mic levels just dropped like crazy.
Oh, I did turn my mic down a little bit just because it'd be spiking a little bit, but it sounds straight now. It's good.
A little bit more.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, that's straight. That should be straight.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, cool. So where we want to start on this list, man?
I mean, you just talked about a nigga getting his ass beat at a basketball game, so let's just talk about the NBA.
All right, cool. Fuck it. Let's get straight into the NBA. Right. So hold on. Get this out the way. Where is my? I just had a tab open with all the NBA shit. So, the 76ers, as of today, as of literally like an hour ago, swept the Nets. So they won that series 4-0.
Yes, sir.
Nuggets is up 3-0 over the Timberwolves. No surprise there. I'm curious as to what the Timberwolves are gonna do because they're in a sad situation where they're kind of stuck with Gobert and Cat. And Gobert is probably, well, I mean, Gobert is definitely not what what they thought that he would be. But I think Cat is becoming more of the issue because Cat just simply is not that guy. He's not him.
Yeah,
And it's a problem because it's like, dog, you have everything. Like, you're big enough. You have the outside game. You have the perimeter game. But you just refuse to play in the post at times. Like, you just refuse to. It's like the nigga forget that he's 6'11" or 7 foot every game. Like, this nigga playing like he a guard every single game. And it's just like at a certain point, that's just not conducive to getting dubs, especially in this point in the playoffs and playing against Jokic. It's like Cat's not a good defender, right? You're playing on the perimeter, so offensively you're taking yourself out of the flow, and you're not getting them in foul trouble. You're not doing none of the shit you're supposed to be doing. But then the problem is you kind of can't because you have Rudy in the paint already.
right.
So it's like you can't sit down there near the post too with him being there. So it's like this team
It's
is
a
just
damn if you do, damn if you don't
exactly
situation.
my point. It's just like this team construction don't really work. And I'm not sure why this wasn't thought of before the trades were made. Especially when I think about the fact that they traded D'Lo, like, and Vanderbilt, and all of that for like fucking nothing. I in hindsight, that trade just seems even more stupid to me. Like Jared Vanderbilt was defense. You needed that. You needed an 8-8 guy to lock up the wings.
Yeah.
You needed that. Now you don't have that, and now any wing, any 2 guard, any 3 guard, or any small forward is frying you, and we're watching it. Yeah. Excuse Bailey. She want to be on the pod. Bad as hell.
She
For
on it.
for those who don't know, my niece got a dog, and yeah, she's like the little loudmouth.
What kind of dog?
She's small. I think she's a Shih Tzu.
Okay.
Yeah. But
She yapping.
yeah. But I think she's just talking now because she on the leash or she in the cage now because she be acting up sometimes. But anywho, the Knicks gave it to the Knicks gave it to the Cavaliers, last night. Beat them by 20. Them memes
It's
had
an
me
absolutely
crying.
stinky series.
Them memes had me crying. They was talking about some. There was one lady was talking about some. Okay, everyone, I'm okay now, but last night was so frightening because da 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 this and that. And then like at the end, she's like, and then someone threw bricks through my window, and I was like da da da. And then I told the police it was Karis LeVert and Darius Garland. I was crying because the whole time I thought it was a serious post. Just when they get to the end, talking about some. Nah, it was just the Cavaliers players throwing bricks through my. That shit had me screaming. And I looked the field goal. Nigga, the Cavs shot 38% as a team. They shot 21% from
And you
three
know
as a
what's
team.
crazy? At halftime, they were at 31%. So they finished the game going up 7%. That's horrendous.
They shot better and still lost by 20. That's despicable.
I think at the half, the score was something ridiculous, like 42-64 or something crazy.
At the half, I'm looking, it was 45-32. That's 32
Even
points at
worse.
halftime.
That's
It's
insane.
disgusting, yo. Disgusting.
I didn't watch the game, so I don't know what was going on, but I guess the 38% shooting is what was going
21%
on.
from three is, the clink season. Niggas was in prison. Guess who's going to jail tonight, nigga? What else? So we got the Bucks Heat series tie 1-1 with, I think Giannis is still out for this game. This is listen. I think for the sake of everyone in the East, they're hoping that the Heat pull through.
Yeah,
But
because
again,
it's gonna be an uphill battle if they don't.
but for the sake of good basketball, I'd love for the Bucks to close the series out and get this done. With or
Oh yeah,
without Giannis.
I think they
Uh,
can do it without Giannis.
I think they can too. Especially because the Heat are missing Tyler Hero, and he's gone. So it's like Giannis will
Yeah,
come back
he
eventually.
broke his hand, right? He
Yeah, he
tried
broke
playing
his
on
hand.
it for a game and just made the shit worse.
Well, yeah, he tried playing on it for like a possession, and that shit just did not work out. Like,
Yeah,
and yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I was always that's the one of the things I think of because I remember when I played. Like, if I had an injury, nigga, I'm getting off the field. I don't care nothing about none of that other shit, nigga. Take a timeout. I don't give a fuck, nigga. My hand is broke. My shit is broke. Get me off the court.
I
What the
literally
fuck are you
need
talking
my
about?
hand to shoot the ball, man. Like
Yeah,
I'll be
this
better
whole
off spraining
sport.
my ankle or something.
Yeah, this whole sport revolves around my hands, nigga. Like, no, like, get me off the court. Like, the fuck am I gonna do without a hand? Like, again, this ain't like the NFL where, like, without a hand, all right, maybe I can't catch, but I can knock a pass down. I can play the rest of my position without a hand.
Yeah,
But, like, nah, dog. Like, I am a shooter. That, especially considering I'm Tyler Hero, I'm a shooter. Like, it's one thing if I'm like a center and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily need to shoot. I just be guiding the ball into the rim. Like, all right, maybe I can do that with a fucked up hand. Nigga, I am a jump shooter through and through. There is no way I can do this
it's
with a
all in my
broken
wrist,
hand.
yo. I need that.
With a broken hand.
That remind me
So,
of that white dude that played for the Celtics years and years ago, and played on a broken ankle in the playoffs because his team needed him.
Wally Williamson?
Yeah, and then he made the injury worse and now permanently has a limp, and then they lost anyway, so it was pointless.
No. Who was that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that was. That makes sense. That makes sense. I listen. What it was 1-1 in the Memphis series. I don't know why that was fucking me up for a second. It's 1-1 the Memphis series. They play tonight. I got Lakers tonight, man. Dylan Brooks was talking spicy about that. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care nothing about Brown. I poked the bear. I don't give a fuck that old nigga. Until he dropped 40 on me, I don't respect that bitch ass nigga. Old ass fuck. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
he took
again,
that personally.
this is why I like this guy. This guy is an utter idiot. And I love it because he doesn't care. He doesn't
Doubling,
care.
tripling down. Yeah, he don't
Yeah,
give a
I don't
fuck.
give a shit. I will quadruple down. So what? Drop 40. Oh, you had a decent game and won. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you were 14 in scoring and won. I don't give a fuck. You not doing nothing.
Oh, you drop 40? All right, next time drop 60.
Yeah, drop 50 then. Or better yet, don't let you drop 40 and lose. Don't ever let you drop
Oh
40
no,
and
yeah.
lose.
I
Like,
can imagine the conversation that yeah, he dropped 40 on me, but hey, that don't matter. We got the dub.
now I mean, check the stats. My team winning.
He got to say my team because he not.
Hey, look, my team winning, baby. It's a team sport. I don't care if you drop 40, nigga. What your boys do? Help your niggas out, stupid. You just like, but you just told me to drop. You fell for it. See, you see, you fell for it. Phoenix is currently up 2-1 versus the Clippers. I feel bad for the Clippers because I wholeheartedly believe the Clippers would have gave it to the Suns if everyone was healthy. But of course, that's the name of the game. Health is wealth, and if you can't get
Yeah.
healthy, then that's just how it go. But I mean, after watching what I've seen these few games, it's just like, bro, you can't convince me this Clipper team would not have beat the Suns. I think
Yeah.
this Clippers team is going to beat the Suns, and if they played the Nuggets next, they would have swept the Nuggets. But that's just me. I tell people straight up, until Jokic wins anything, I'm a firm believer he's a fraud. I don't care how good he is. That team stinks. They always shrink when they need him. And then he's stuck dropping a 25-point triple-double in a losing effort. I've seen enough. I don't care anymore.
Does that
That's
make him a fraud though? I guess a truly
no.
great player is gonna
It,
carry the
it
team,
it
but
don't make you a
I can
fraud
only
per
do
se.
so much.
That is true. However, I'm still gonna blame you for your team losing. It's just the way this goes. Like it's
Because if
just the
you
way
were a
this goes.
real leader like Kobe, I would have found a way.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
all
think
I'm
about it. Again, we just said this. If Bron has 40 points and a decent stat line in a game and you lose, I don't give a fuck, Bron. Who gives a shit about your 40? You lost. You didn't do enough. Or you didn't do what you had to do. Like, that's always how it's been. Is it fair? No. Of course it's not fair. But nigga, you getting the same treatment I give to anybody, especially since you want to be in these combos. If you want to be one of them guys, well then guess what? When your team loses, it's always your fault, dummy. When your team wins, it's always because of you. Like that's just how it works. You get all the credit and all the blame. So if your
yeah.
team get cooked, nigga, you gotta step up. Well, I had a 38-point triple double. Have a 48-point triple double then, nigga. Get a dub. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Bro, like it's just like, do you know how rare that is? Well, shit, I know how rare a dub is because y'all don't seem to get them. Like, so it's like I don't care. It'll never matter to me
Bring
because
back
if
bubble ball, yeah. That's what it's gonna take.
bring back what?
I said bring back bubble ball. That's what we need. That's what the
Not
Lakers
bubble.
need.
Yeah, nah, facts. That's what a lot of these teams need for real. Because I think that's the problem with a lot of these teams is a lot of these niggas, they not really focused on ball. Niggas is out here doing what they want to do for real.
Which is crazy because it's the postseason. I can imagine doing whatever you want to do in the main season, but
But hey,
now
old
it's time
habits
to
die
strap
hard.
in now.
Think about it. If for 82 games I've been fucking around, it's like you gotta understand. Not everybody can just tell themselves, all right, flip that switch, let's go. It's not. It's hard to care. I didn't care 82 times. You think on time 83, which is game one in the playoffs, now I give a fuck. Some niggas don't care. And some niggas also look at it like I might just be in a losing situation. So, truth be told,
We even made it here, so I'm just here so I don't get fined.
yeah, I'm just glad we here. Like that's really it.
Some
Um,
niggas just don't got the drive like they used to. Because Dennis Rodman, he would have been fucking around during the playoffs and they would still win. I'm just saying
mhm,
it was a different league back then. Nigga
mhm.
disappeared in Vegas and came back and still won. So, hey man, people fucking around, be good enough to fuck around and still get the job done.
That is true. That is true. So the Warriors down 2-1. I tell you, the Warriors looking a little shaky. They needed Steph to turn up crazy. Him and
Steph there.
Wiggins. But I listen. I'm here to tell y'all. I hope I'm not the first person to tell y'all, and I'm sure y'all know already. Klay Thompson is washed. He's not that guy anymore.
We see glimpses
We
of,
see glimpses. He can still give you 20 on a given night, but that like back in the day to where on a given night you were afraid Klay might go for 40 or 50. That's gone.
yeah.
That's going. I don't care if he did it once a season. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a nigga will do it just enough to where you can't say it's never gonna happen, but you could just say, all right, it just gotta be one of those games. It's over with. It's over with. Like, sure, he'll have one of those per season. I don't care anymore. That's not enough to convince me that you're good for 40 on a given night. That's not enough. And Clay's still looking for the supermax, from what I heard. And if you're looking for a supermax and you're at where you're at, bro, you're not getting that. I'm letting you go. There's no way I pay you a supermax. That just doesn't make sense for a guy with the injury issues that you had. You're older, and the way you play, like, don't get me wrong. Now, Clay also strikes me as the type of guy where if the Lakers don't, or the Lakers, if the Warriors wouldn't offer him that, he would go somewhere else and ball the fuck out. He
Yeah.
won. He 1,000,000% strikes me as a guy who I'll give my all to the Pistons because the Warriors let me go, and the Pistons were the only niggas who signed me. Like, or if the Warriors let him go, and if he was a real sicko, he'd take a pay cut to go to he'd take a pay cut to go to Sacramento. But that's real nasty.
That's some KD shit right there.
That's too nasty. That's the slimiest snake. But yeah, I'll be
He
interested to
could
see how
go to
these play
Blake
out.
Griffin route and just get bounced around trash tees until he actually get to a team he care about, and then start dunking for the first time in 5 seasons.
That could be true.
Niggas on the Pistons not doing shit. The first game he was in Brooklyn, Dunk City.
Niggas be killing me. Get ready to learn Chinese. That shit
That
be
shit
killing
is
me.
always funny.
That
No
shit
matter
is
the
so
context, that shit is
funny, yeah.
always funny.
Oh man. What else? All right, so we'll get off NBA in a second. The last thing I have is Phil Jackson, right? Head
Oh, yeah, I
coach.
saw that.
You
Obviously,
saw
he
this.
said that.
Okay, you
Look at
saw
this
this.
nigga. Yeah.
Head coach of the legendary Lakers and Bulls teams. Uh Pretty much said he no longer watches the NBA because it's quote become too political. And he said that this started in the bubble when players were wearing the woke messages on the back of their jerseys and on the
Woke
floor.
messages, you mean Black Lives Matter. Just say it
Yes.
with your chest. Just say it with your chest, bro.
So he
Don't be a
said
bitch.
they did something that was kind of wanky. They did a bubble down in Orlando, and all the teams that could qualify went down there and stayed down there, and they had like things on their backs, like justice. They made a funny thing, like justice just went to the basket and equal opportunity knocked them down. My grandkids thought that was pretty funny, but I couldn't watch that.
No, the shit that you're saying, the way you're saying is making me more mad than if you would have just called somebody a nigger.
No, yeah, he was on a podcast. It was actually hilarious. But the
I know
funniest,
you just called me the N-word to say these guys are doing these silly things, kind of
yeah,
wanky.
yeah,
You
he
think
said,
social
yeah,
justice reform
wanky
is
is wanky. But he even said they even had slogans on the floor in the baseline. It was trying to cater to an audience or trying to bring a certain audience to the game, and they didn't know it was turning other people off. People want to see sports as non-political. And let me just say something. Real quick. The NBA was one of like 4 major American leagues that had these slogans on the floor. So you didn't watch any sports in 2020, and you probably haven't been watching any sports since because the MLB had this, the NHL had this. There was another one, but they all had this.
I respect white sports for having it.
The
I respect
WNBA had that. I mean, granted, like in 2020, you could not get away from this. You simply couldn't. Like, nigga,
it.
the protest was too big. Like every sport, major sport had these.
Do these same sports still have it? No. Okay, then shut the fuck up. You
One,
said they went political. Okay, they went and
one,
came back now. What's up?
two. People want to see sports as non-political. Then why do we sing the American national anthem at the beginning of every game? Like you crackers just make you just say anything.
Literally.
Y'all just say anything.
That's why
They
I'd
want
rather y'all just come out and just say the N-word, get it out. You know, the people that rock with you not gonna change. Just all this rigmarole.
like,
I love that word.
and that's my thing. Yeah, I love that word too. But that's the part that kills me because so many people talk about the woke this, the woke that, the woke this, the woke that. Like politics is in everything. Politics was always in everything. It was just politics that either you didn't care about or you were willing to agree with.
Exactly.
Now the problem is there's politics that they are catering and pandering to, because that's the word. Let's call it spade a spade. These slogans and shit, they don't really care. It's pandering. They are pandering to these audiences. And you don't like the fact that they pander to them, but you love it when they pander to the military audience. You love it when they pander to the you get what I'm saying? Because they do these damn military month in the NFL. What the fuck are you talking about? We're playing a sport that has nothing to do with military. What the fuck is military month? Why the fuck is there camouflage Cowboys apparel on the sideline? What are y'all talking about? Why are the jets flying over my game? These are all political messages. You just agree with them. So that's really all that this is. That's my whole point where I'm just like, buddy, I don't give a shit. Just say what it is. You think these Negroes need to hush up with that Negro politic while y'all get y'all shit off and y'all say what y'all need to say. And it's only a problem when I disagree with the politics. It's the same thing. Yeah, literally, it's shut up and dribble. It's that simple. I have no problem with politics when y'all say the shit I want y'all to say. But when y'all don't say that shit, oh man, let me tell you.
Get these coons off my screen.
Yeah. Like, yeah, and not to mention, like, I know the guy who drafted Frank Ntilikina over Donovan Mitchell is not talking. Like, go sit down, old nigga. Like, go sit down, bro. I don't care about your heyday when you got carried by a bunch of fucking all-stars and Jordan and Shaq and Kobe. When you were with regular talent, like the rest of these coaches in the league were, you look like a bum. I hate when niggas put themselves on these pedestals. Man, get out of here.
He was getting carried. That's crazy.
Give him the fuck out of here. Give him the fuck out of here. Phil Jackson, get the fuck out of my
face. The teams that he coached, he didn't have to coach. He just had to give them the ball.
Get out of my face, bro. Get out of my face, bro. Get out of my face. Because now I'm about to start disrespecting your legacy. I'm about to start saying shit that's not true, but I'm going to say it anyway because you a sucker. Like, I'm going to swear to you, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you Steve Kerr better coach than you, sucker-ass nigga. I don't believe that, but it don't matter. It don't matter because you're a sucker. So I can say anything I want to a sucker.
I don't agree with you. I'm going to slander you.
Exactly. I'm slandering
all day.
Yeah, this is libel, defamation.
Don't care.
But yeah, so get him out of here. Pack him up. Old fuck. What else we got? Speaking of packing niggas up, let's get to the pack them up section. Listen, Jonathan Majors, baby. So Jonathan Majors,
it's getting worse and worse, buddy.
Was dropped by his PR and management firm, longtime PR and management firm. They were with him for quite some time.
Also heard he lost his Costco membership.
I saw that stupid shit. What I will say, man, is I was wrong. Only in the sense that I just didn't think this would necessarily matter. Because my thing is, I thought that yes, he has a pattern. Yes, he has a background. Yes, he has a history. Sometimes that matters and sometimes it doesn't. So I thought this was one of the cases where it didn't.
Where it didn't matter. Because Hollywood doesn't really give a shit about men abusing women 9 times out of 10.
And it's just it's very situational as to when people have had enough and were willing to stand on it versus, you know what I'm saying? It's very situational. So it's never like I thought like he should stay here. No, it was always like, listen, it's only a matter of time. If this is who you truly are, and you're now this is one example that's exposing you for who you are, you're going to expose yourself again. I'm the firm believer of that. Like, none of you niggas are good enough, and not even good enough, but talented enough to ignore the fact that you have something going on in your history, in your past, and you're not doing anything about it. Because why would you? I've gotten all the way to Disney playing Kang with billions of dollars on my back, doing all the sick shit that I'm being accused of. So I'm not going to stop now. Yeah, why would I change? Why would I stop? It's gotten me here. Like, granted, this is not literally what got me here, but like it's part of the equation. They saw it and said, fuck it, we'll try it out. But what I thought was hilarious was how I didn't know the lore of Kang the Conqueror. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that Kang is like this like he's like a multiversal like descendant of some other Nick. So it's like he can just manifest himself and appear in different ways.
He's a descendant of Reed Richards, and he literally he's a time god pretty much. He just be hopping from any point in future. He has futuristic tech that makes it seem like he's super strong, invincible, impervious to damage, and he basically just controls time and space and can do whatever he wants. Literally.
Right.
There's like 30 different versions of him in the comics because he just be popping up through time, pretending to be different people.
Exactly. So once I saw that, I said, "Oh,
this is gonna be the easiest recast in history."
One, and then two, I said, "Oh, Disney knew what they were doing when they signed this."
Oh, that's even. Oh, I didn't even think about
That's
that. That's
that's where
criminal.
that's immediately where my mind went because I started thinking to myself, "Oh, okay. So Disney played this for oh,
But if they were gonna like,
I heard you was a sneaky dog." Like, "Ooh,
but my
that's
thing is,
sneaky."
why even plan to trade a nigga out because they're doing some sick shit instead of just hiring a person that's not a sick Negro?
I mean, hiring a person who's not a sick Negro in Hollywood, I mean, come on, bro. Like, you're asking for a bit too much. But I think he was the guy, right? I think by all metrics and measurements, he fit the bill of who we wanted the guy to be, right? He looked the part, right? He was getting the buzz and all that in Hollywood, and he fit the role. And I think for them, they
Was he
probably saw.
one tangent though? Was he getting buzz? But Creed came out after he was already signed to Marvel. What was he in besides Lovecraft Tales?
A low-carb country? I don't know exactly what he was in, but I just know the buzz was building for him. That's the one thing I do know, and I can't speak to I mean, what they saw at the time because there's no way in hell I'd know.
Yeah.
Um, but he wasn't in a ton of shit. But I mean, he was in The Harder They Fall, where he played a villain in that one, I think too.
What was the
Uh,
harder they fall? It sounds
that was like
familiar.
the Western joint, the
Oh
one
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah, yeah.
him, Zazie Beetz, Idris Elba, Lakeith.
Yeah, I remember that on Netflix. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a pretty solid one.
yeah.
Who was that? Who directed that? Directed by James Samuel. Okay, no idea who that is.
Person.
But yeah, that devotion, low key. So I mean, I don't think he was in a ton of shit, but I think they just kind of saw him and identified him as the next guy. Like, yo, you fit the mold. You look like the guy. You've got the build, the da da da, this and that. And I think they probably looked into that past and said, you know what?
I'm willing to gamble on that.
Let's give him, yeah, let's gamble because worst case scenario, the recast will be the easiest part. This isn't like a character where I'm gonna have to struggle to get because you're like you said, you are a multi-dimensional being that can just take on who. So nigga, what? I could have any. I can swap you out every movie if I needed to. Like,
Yeah,
so I'm not even worried about that. But I
I
think
can
this
get
was one of
Robert
those things.
Downey in blackface to play you, bro.
Right, literally. No, I can get a white guy to play you. Fuck it. Like, fuck it. I can literally get a white guy. No blackface necessary. Um. So, but to me, I didn't know we would. I guess I'll say I didn't. I'm just never sure when it matters and when it doesn't, as it relates to like niggas having a long running history of being sick people.
It matters
Um.
when it's a black person abusing white people.
Yeah, or so we think, right? But like because sometimes it don't, right? But like when you combine that with the history, yeah, usually I think that's probably what gets you out of here. But I think it just becomes one of those things where like I was the main one saying like I just don't because I thought this situation was underhand, it was under wraps, and there'd be rumblings and grumblings of other situations. But I figured that'd kind of be where it stayed at until some point somewhere in the future where he acts up again, and you get what I'm saying. Like I just thought like
You
I
didn't think it's
figured
gonna be over right now in the first instance.
yeah, no, I figured this
Well,
would be
first
an
public
this
instance.
yeah, I figured this was an inevitability. I just didn't think it happened right now.
Yeah.
Because I never know when enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part where it's like, how can I gauge that? I have no fucking clue when enough is enough because I don't know the full history of even when I was learning some of that history, like because a lot of these guys have that. Where like when someone gets accused of doing some heinous shit, like it don't be their first time. Like you always hear these rumblings and grumblings behind closed doors. Are like, yeah, I mean, he is kind of that dude. Like he do be doing shit like that. Like, and so it's like, oh, okay. And guys, mind you, this is not just for white actors and white actors. Like this be for
Oh
black
yeah.
folks as well.
Hollywood
So
in general is just gonna protect abusers. It don't matter the
right,
race.
yeah, yeah. Especially when it's like, listen, if you are a proven cash cow, bruh, like you said, the race can play almost no factor in some cases. Like where it's just like, look, bro, I'm gonna try to take the race out of this because I'm
Yeah,
protecting
money
them.
is money.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, no, man, it looks like he's cooked. Because they said there were two additional women who went to the DA. Or I'm not sure if it was two or if it was more than that.
I just saw
But
multiple. I didn't see a number.
Yeah, it was more women alleged abuse, and they're working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. And I said, oof.
They about to file a class action lawsuit against this nigga.
Yeah, they dropped them from a
Serial
bunch.
abuser.
They dropped them from a bunch more projects, and a bunch of other stuff. He was supposed to be in a biopic about Otis Redding.
Oh, I saw that.
Um, he's supposed to be in some adaptation of The Man in My Basement. Some other shit like that. He also had to deal with the Texas Rangers. But yeah, no.
Interesting. Don't know what that was about, but
But I
hey.
tell you what, man, this to me, this stinks. Remember his lawyer said that there was a video. I get the feeling that maybe that video was shown to them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was
Like
like, for
maybe they
all of these,
actually
for his own talent agency, for all of these different people to drop him, they have to know more than what the public is seeing. They know
100%.
once that video comes out, it's gonna be over. So they getting ahead of it and dropping him.
One and two, think about it. Like this was his longtime PR and management firm, so they know who you are. Like they knew your past, like the past that you have. If they've been with you for 3 or 4 years, even if it's just 3 or 4 years, they've seen it. You know what I'm saying? They know what it's like to be your firm and represent you and so on and so forth. So it's like they already kind of knew what issues existed here. And then when they saw that video, they might have thought to themselves, guys, look, there's never been a better chance than now to get the fuck out of here. Okay.
Yeah,
We gotta go. Let's get up out of here now. So I think that's probably what it was. Truth be told. But I think I gotta tell you, yet another nigga throwing away his chances at superstar. Absolute fuckery.
I'll never understand. Niggas just
Yeah.
need to get their ego intact or something. Or I
Well,
don't
I
even know if
mean,
it's ego. What causes you to abuse people? Whatever that is, get that shit fixed.
yeah. I mean, good luck. I mean, niggas gotta want to throw that shit away, and that'd be the problem because niggas get rewarded every step of the way, right? So it's like, how do they convince themselves this is a problem when it's never been a problem for them? You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing about it. The hardest part of any sort of program is getting niggas to admit they got a problem.
Yeah.
So if I'm a nigga who thinks like, nah, I'll be talking to these women and they be talking crazy and bugging out and then like da 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 like, cause I know niggas who do like that. Like they'll consistently seek out women who do too much, and then they and the women both do too much together. Except you're doing too much looks like abuse, right? And then it's like in their head, it's like, well, how else am I supposed to respond to this? Okay, buddy, take a step back. Stop
Maybe
fucking
don't
with
get in those
Right,
situations.
yeah. Stop fucking with women who are requiring this of you or who are bringing this to you, whatever it may be, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but these niggas
If
don't
you
make
can't control your anger, don't get with somebody that's gonna constantly make you angry. It's as
right.
simple as
Like,
that.
yeah, like you need, like, bro, you like find an easygoing person who's like, no. But you know, some niggas will do it. Like, some niggas will seek out, like, I'm gonna seek out somebody with certain issues because again, it makes me feel more powerful over them, and then that's where you get into all of that bag to where niggas got the real problems. Niggas is sick niggas, and they don't see that as no problem. But hey, look, they gonna learn you one way or another, goofy ass nigga.
Great facts.
They gonna learn your ass one way or another, man. So uh, shit, from one nigga getting cooked up to another nigga getting cooked up. Shit, you want to talk about this Nintendo nigga?
Oh man, this shit. Yeah, let's talk about this because I got plenty of thoughts on this.
Okay, so let's whew. So there's a hacker who will be paying 25 to 30% of his salary every year to Nintendo for the rest of his life.
So when I looked into it and I looked at the article, the only reason it's 25 to 30% of his salary for the rest of his life is because they want him to pay millions and millions of dollars, like an obscene amount of money.
I think it's
So
like Chanel, yeah.
technically, he doesn't have to pay for the rest of his life, but he's gonna have to win the fucking lottery to pay this shit off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just technical terms. I digress.
14.5 million. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So unless he just happens upon 14.5 million for the rest of his life, he's gonna be paying that.
Yeah. So this guy who's of course his last name was Bowser. And he was
That's
53.
funny. That's comical.
He was arrested during the pandemic for his involvement in a group, Team Executor, a group which created and sold chips which hacked video game consoles and allowed customers to get games for free. Innocuous enough until you start learning about the actual shit he was doing with these chips, right? Um, he was arrested, da da da. He was sentenced to 40 months in prison and requested to pay $14.5 million.
You know,
Uh,
it's crazy. I remember hearing about this in 2022. Two as in TO, not like 2022. But I didn't know like what his crime was exactly. I just heard that a fucking hacker got sent to jail. I didn't know what was going on. But after hearing what happened, yeah, I'm glad this nigga got fucking vanquished.
yeah, it said the maximum that they can take is between 25 to 30% of monthly gross income. And he has 6 months before he has to start making payments. Um, and of course, the worst part was this guy previously claimed he only received a small fraction of the tens of millions of dollars of proceeds that his hacking team earned. And I'm like, well, shit, that's your fault, dickhead.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. He was only one of three members to be tried and convicted. Another member was never arrested, and a third was not able to be extradited. Like, yeah, see? They
Mm.
charged him with 11 felonies, including wire fraud,
God.
conspiracy to circumvent technological
Ooh.
measures, trafficking in circumvention devices, and conspiracy to
Oh.
commit money laundering.
Oh, they threw the book. Conspiracy to commit money laundering is insanity. They threw the book at this nigga. Oh my god.
Now, the worst part was, right? This seems like a pretty egregious sentence until you start to look into what exactly these niggas were getting into. Um,
Him specifically.
him specifically, but a lot of these, well, not a lot of these hackers, but these hacking groups specifically, right? Basically, these niggas were hacking people's shit and bricking people's devices, like installing malware on people's devices, where like it would take over your device, like you cook, but I'll tell you what, you pay me a nice little fine, I'll give you access to your switch back. Now, the craziest part is he originally got arrested for something similar to this. I don't think it was this exactly, but something similar to this, and they let him go. He didn't get cooked for this. He didn't get fried for this. He didn't do an extended period of time. So it's just like, buddy, hey, buddy,
This was your way out, bro. What was going on, pal?
that was supposed to be your exit. That was supposed to be your exit, and unfortunately, now it's like again, it's like dog. If you go to jail for you know you moving some weight, or put it this way, you getting hemmed up over moving some weight, and then you leave, and then think you gonna move more weight, and then the next time I catch you, I'm not gonna nail you to the fucking wall
Yeah, no, that's insane to think like that.
against a company known for despicable litigation. You're crazy. Nintendo is known for being insanely severe as it relates to litigating against niggas, bro. I will sue a house mom in her basement, nigga. You kidding me?
If you emulate Pokemon Forest Green, nigga, I ain't going to send helicopters, tanks, predator drones. We getting you out of here.
Yeah, word. And so apparently, this guy he reportedly made 320,000 over 7 years of work, and he confessed to being the company's salesman. And I was like, bro, you probably should have
A
moved
company
to
salesman in Nintendo.
no, 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 for this a team
Oh, okay,
executor
okay.
nigga. I was like, bro, I'm telling you like this. The fact that you and one other guy got arrested, right? And that guy was allegedly the leader of the operation, and he's avoided deportation to the US. Buddy, it sounds like you either were A, the fall guy, you were too dumb to realize that, or B, it sounds like you should have moved to a place that does not have an extradition treaty with
Right.
the United States, knowing again that because again, you got away with it the first time, then decided I'm gonna go up against a company that, historically speaking, destroys niggas' lives as it relates to their business. All right, all right, man. All right. Now again, a lot of people did a lot of comparisons saying, "Well, he got 40 months for this," and meanwhile, the you know the and I get it, I get all of that shit, dog. But like, cut it out, cut it out. I don't like stop it. I hate when y'all do this. Like, don't turn these niggas into martyrs because
Yeah,
they want to
comparing
tempt
apples and
fate.
oranges.
Yeah, because
Now,
they want to tempt fate.
the only thing I'll say, like I said, I had conflicting emotions on this because I don't give a fuck if somebody is like quote unquote hacking, somebody's emulating games, somebody's jailbreaking systems to get free games. These are billion-dollar corporations. I don't care if they lose money.
Yeah, fact.
But this dude in particular and his hacking group are sickos and they deserve to be punished because, like you said, he was breaking people's consoles and then he was basically he was what do you call it? He was trying to get them to pay. He was blackmailing them,
Yeah,
literally.
that's
Just
bro. That is the literal legal definition of wire
yeah,
fraud and money laundering. Like that's my whole point. You committed the crimes they accuse you of.
literally. So this is a sick Negro. He deserves to be punished. But and this is again why I said I have conflicting emotions. I think he needs to be punished, but I feel like his punishment is kind of severe because the fines, the 14.5 million that he's gonna have to pay, that's not going back to the niggas whose consoles he bricked and had to spend money on new consoles and new
Oh, it
games.
never
It's
does.
going
Yeah,
to
never.
Nintendo. That's like the government or a city or something doing some foul shit. A company doing some foul shit and then having to pay a fine to the city. What does the city do? Put that money in cops. Put that money in their own pockets. The citizens that are actually affected
Yeah,
by
don't see none
these
of it.
companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like this little $14.5 million fine is not doing nothing for nobody. I think he should have got jail time. I don't think he should have got the fine. I don't think anybody should be an indentured servant for the rest of their lives, paying 30% of whatever money they get to a $1 billion company.
Yeah,
But
my
still,
only
fuck this
issue
guy.
my only issue is who you paying it to. Because as far as I'm concerned, bro, when you are breaking people's shit and blackmailing people, like again, this is like that. Remember that back in the day they had that shit where, because I've seen this myself, where my roommate was like, "Yo, you work in tech, right?" I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, "Yeah, you can look at my laptop." I looked at his shit, and his shit had like that thing where it's like, "You've been accused of these crimes, and these are the potential penalties that come with these crimes." And they was accused, of course, it should say like it's like pirating, and then it start with pirating. You're like, all right, I don't really care. Then it started to get to like CP and all that other shit, and they tell you the potential crimes and punishments for this. But I tell you what, if you money order me $275, I can make all this shit go away for real, for real. It's like, dog, I'm sorry. This is gonna sound crazy. If you do that to people, I don't care what happens to you. I don't give a fuck what they do to you, legally speaking. If they steal everything that you've ever worked for and now you can't ever have a family and a life again, I don't fucking care. I don't care. Is it nuts? Sure, maybe it's nuts. We can argue about that on behalf of someone else. You, my nigga, are
You,
screwed. You're
yeah,
done for. And I think all you niggas deserve shit like this. Y'all deserve to get cooked. I don't care how they cook you. I'm not even gonna argue about it's too much cooking when I want you to get cooked. So like that's my whole thing. Like this would be a nasty payment, or this would be nasty for someone who didn't do what you did. But you
right.
did what you did. And you were bricking people's shit, you were cooking people, you blackmail people, you fucking you get what I'm like, no, sorry, buddy. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care what they do to you. Now, the only thing I could have been too far probably would have been like execution. But other than that, doggy, I don't care what they do to you. I don't give a shit. You were part of a collective that was literally stealing from people. Like, and I'm not talking like theft, like stealing from Nintendo. I don't give a fuck about stealing from Nintendo.
Stealing from average
Stealing from
people.
people, nigga. You were actively taking the money. Like, nah, sorry. And now you want to complain about money getting taken out your account, buddy. Listen here. You listen to me, and you listen to me good. You'll never get a chance to start a family. It's over for you. I want your wedding money. I want your vacation money.
Oh my
I want everything you got. And like you said, they're gonna pay it to Nintendo 14 million. This shit gonna be a drop in the bucket. Nintendo not even gonna notice it. The cruelty is the point.
damn. When you put it like that, the cruelty is the point.
The cruelty is
That's
literally the
when you
point.
put it
It
like
ain't, I don't even want your measly fucking dollars, nigga. What are you
trust
gonna
me.
your little 30,000 a year, bro? I don't want that shit. That shit not gonna do nothing for me. I just don't want you to ever be able to like, I don't know, be comfortable in your
Enjoy
life.
your life ever.
Yeah, like
That's
especially when
generational talented
we
cruelty.
let you slide the first time, and then you went, I guess, either went back to a group that was hacking niggas and breaking niggas shit and selling and distributing piracy. Like I said, it's one thing when y'all are just spreading links to other niggas so y'all can get some shit for free. It's another thing when you bricking niggas shit and then you extorting them. And then like it's one thing when the only target here is Nintendo. I would be on your side. I wholeheartedly would be. If your only target here was Nintendo or your only target Sony or whoever the hell it is, nigga, I don't care what happened. Nigga, that's like you said, $1 billion corporation. Nigga, I don't give a damn what happened to Nintendo. I don't care at all. Oh, you lost allegedly 65 million over several years. Who fucking cares? Who cares? I literally don't care. But when you are now extorting other everyday people and Nintendo, yeah, no, sorry, buddy. Yeah, sorry, buddy. And then mind you, Nintendo's not doing it for the right reasons, but I don't care. You're getting fried. You're getting
As
fucking
long as you
baked
get
for it.
right, that's all that matters. Yeah.
You're getting baked for it. And I think in this case, I'm not gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, it's deserved. You should get exactly what you." It is what it is. It is what it fucking is. Like that's my whole thing. Like it's like when I see $2 billion, like this is not this particular thing, but it's like when I watch two immoral people argue, I don't care what happens. If someone's getting destroyed here, destroy them.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
care.
entertainment.
I don't care. Like that's my whole thing. Like so, when you get a sick nigga who is out here extorting everyday people, and then you have Nintendo on the other side, I know who's gonna win. Like I know who's gonna win. So whatever happens, hey, man, look, that's what Nintendo did to you. Damn, that's crazy. Ah well. Like y'all niggas will learn y'all lesson next time. When niggas get you off, will let you off with a fucking pass, bro. Y'all niggas better switch to say you better find a new career field.
Yeah,
You better-
going back is crazy. That should have been like your heist movie. That should have been your last score. That should have been your out.
That's your last jug, yeah. That is your last jug, man. I'll tell you that much. So what else? What else? What else? Speaking of Nintendo, I guess we're on the concept of games. We can talk about this little body cam game going on.
Oh, this cop simulator game.
Yeah, yeah, we're uh Fed Simulator.
Did you saw the clip that I sent, right?
I did.
That shit looks like real life.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Like, yeah, not even close to a fan. First off, I'm not a fan of this genre
Yeah,
anyway. This body cam cop simulator genre of games that's been coming out recently. It's just more propaganda. It's just getting people more acclimated, I guess you could say, or more accustomed to police shootings. Because anytime you see a clip of these games, they're not playing it the way the game is designed to be played. There's always some edgy white kid playing. They bust into a room, they shoot the nigga 35 times, and then say put the gun down, and then they upload to YouTube. That's every clip of every one of these cop games. That's all there is to the game.
yeah. And for me, it's just like I'm just gonna be honest with you. I never want to see this level of realism in shooters. Um,
It literally looks like real life. Like when I saw it, I was
yeah,
like, this isn't a game. This
I'm
is
good.
first of all, I don't even know how they achieved this because they just did the Unreal 5 engine thing like a couple months ago. So how do we go from that, which looked amazing, to this shit that looks like real life?
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't want to see the nigga said the live leak simulator. Like this is literally what this is. Like,
Lively simulator is it's crazy.
and that's the part that's nuts to me because I feel like when you look at stuff that's this super realistic, da da da, to me, this lends itself perfectly to horror games. It lends itself perfectly. Like first person camera, super hyper realistic horror. That's the first thing I thought of. Except
And y'all
unfortunately,
decide to use it for cops.
well, they went in a different direction with horror, unfortunately.
This is not the horror that I enjoy.
Like, yeah, I'm like, I don't need hyper realistic rendering to shoot human targets that are also hyper realistic. Please give me
Yeah.
some monsters, bro.
I want hyper realistic demons with claws and fangs. I want hyper realistic alien isolation. Give me whatever this game is, the technology they used on this game. Give me that, but alien isolation.
Like, I just feel like this is essentially just a mass shooting simulator. If I'm being honest,
Like I
I
literally
don't like
said, this is just making people
it. Yeah, more
not
comfortable
give
with
a fuck
that.
about, yeah. Like now people pretty much just accept that niggas getting shot by the police is just an everyday part of life. But I feel like if more games like this use this technology where the game looks like real life and it's a cop simulator with a body cam and niggas busting the door shooting people. Imagine like you playing this game, you bust in the room, kill a bunch of people, do whatever. You turn it off. You turn on the news. Cop shoot somebody. You don't care anymore because you literally just did it yourself 5 minutes beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna remove whatever little empathy is left from police violence.
Yeah,
What even drove them to make this game so hyper realistic? Like, what
they,
was the point?
they could. That's all. Literally, they just had the, it's America. It's that's all people do in America.
We got the technology, but no one stopped to think if we should use it like that.
Yeah, literally. Like that's literally it. So I don't know, man. Not jacking it. That's really all I got on this on the Fed simulator. Not jacking it.
Yeah, no, not at all. Just it's bullshit. Hate it.
Uh and from body cam simulator to the real world, there have been a number of civilian shootings. Some from mistakes and others from, I think, just niggas being terrible people.
Yeah,
There's been a ton. I mean, people getting in the wrong car, someone pulling in the wrong driveway, a ball rolling in somebody's yard, niggas knocking on the wrong door. It just it's just fuckery. Like, and I
I
think a lot of this comes back to that panic news cycle, like you were talking about, like that 24-hour fear mongering. They're out to get you. They're coming. They're right there. Like all of this shit. And so what happens when you put these absolute fucking idiots and imbeciles in situations where, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Perfect example is no one ever knocks on my door or rings my doorbell. If someone rings my door, it's almost jarring to me. It's like, what the fuck do you want?
yeah,
So combine that already, right, with me having a banger and then me living in a world where I consume news about nothing but terror and fear mongering and this and that. Your mind immediately would just go to the worst place it can go.
yeah.
And then
Someone
you
trying to rob me, kill my
and,
family.
and then you look, and then the racism kicks in because it's a Negro outside. Oh yeah, listen. Like this is bad, and I think shit like this cop simulator combined with this is part of the reason why I don't like shit like this because none of this exists in a vacuum. If the body cam simulator thing existed by itself in a world by itself, sure, maybe, right? But it doesn't. That's not how any of this works. None of these things exist by themselves, totally and fully separated from everything else. Like everything else exists. So it's like when you already have civilians, a civilian populace that is this eager and this scared, that'll just shoot at kids, shoot at random girls, cheerleaders. Like, I mean, half of the people getting boomed aren't even threats for real. Like, so it's just like you're
And
afraid of anyone.
literally, I was gonna say, they're literally you shoot at a 6-year-old and his mother because their ball rolled in your
Right,
yard.
right. You'll shoot at a little 16-year-old white girl. Like you'll shoot like so it's not even like again, of course race plays an issue, but it's like in some of these cases, it ain't even it's just your
You
pussy.
just a bitch.
Yeah,
Literally, the only one that I think was actually black was the biggest one that started off where he knocked on the door looking for his younger brother and it was the wrong house. I think
yeah,
he
what
was
was his name? Ralph Yarl. Yeah, I think
I
they
think
he
he
kind
was
of
the only one that was black. I think the rest of them were all white people. And so you booming on white girls and little 16-year-old white kids? Y'all
yeah,
future.
it's nuts. It's nuts. And this is my whole point where it's just like, yo, that gun culture combined with shit like these games and like it's just I understand these are slower creeps, but I'm never gonna go for shit like this because I always see what again, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. Like I said, like all these things by themselves might be solid ideas. Maybe, like maybe there's a world where I want a hyper realistic body cam simulator, but not this world in this America that we live in.
No
Absolutely
way.
not.
Absolutely no shot.
Absolutely not. Um, yeah, no, this is just nuts. I mean, like white folks is going crazy, and I'm sure it's not just white folks. That's just what we're hearing because what I noticed with a lot of these news stories is it's the flavor of the month. So these be what you hear. Right? It's the same thing with the train derailments. Like people sat up here and said, "Yo, is it me or like they're mad train derailments now suddenly?" And then
I think
people pull the
they're
stats up.
just getting reported on more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
because people pull the stats up and I'm like, dog, there's 1,000 train derailments a year. That's 3 a day. Like, they were always happening incredibly frequently. It's just now we give a fuck for this split second in time. So it's sort of the same thing. And I think that's true of anything, but the problem is there's a certain cynicism that comes with, okay, well, why treat this story like it's a breaking news thing for 3 weeks, or these stories for 3 weeks? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's all it'll be. Like, for 2 or 3 weeks, they'll harp on these stories and then they'll move on to something else. But it's just like, knowing that, say, 3 or 4 of these happen a day, why do you then treat this like this is, and I get that you have to, because unfortunately these are people's lives being lost. So you have to treat each one with a certain level of respect. I get that. But I know that's not why you're covering it.
No,
Like
absolutely
you're
not.
not covering it out of respect for the, no, you're covering it because it's the hot topic. And I know some of these are racy. So there's something I can, you know what I mean? Like, I know I can go had a comments going crazy with this. So I just don't like how every time we see these people fall for it and go for it, not realizing, like, bro, what are the stats? Like, we're talking about civilian shootings in this country. Think about it. Police shootings are high. The civilian shootings are probably insane in this country.
Probably 10 times higher than police shootings.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just way more y'all. Some of y'all are shit. We thought cops was insane. Some of you niggas are nuts. Like, so it's just like, yeah, like these. I'm sure there's probably 3 or 4 of these a day. A
Probably
day.
more, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Easily more than that. But it's just like you said, now that this is a thing, now we're gonna hear about everyone for 2, 3 weeks until we stop hearing about them and they fall off the face of the earth. Like, think about it. We ain't even heard about train derailments. There are an average of 3 a day.
I haven't heard of one since
I haven't heard of
lockdown.
one since, maybe a month or two ago, a month and a half ago. Like, so that's what I mean. There's 3 a day. I promise you, a train derailed today.
Multiple.
Yeah, another one will derail by 8 p.m. Like,
One probably derailing right now as we
as
talking.
we speak, whoa. Like, at this moment. But it's just like, you pick and choose when you want to cover them. You pick and choose when you want to talk about them. Oh, damn. I'm not really feeling that no more. All right, let's switch to something new. So, I don't know, man.
Where
Look,
we
y'all
living?
just,
It's all
yeah,
fucked up.
y'all just be careful out here, man. Because
Top to bottom, everything fucked up.
these niggas are crazy out here. There's a lot of insanity going out here.
I'll tell
And
you what, don't knock on niggas' doors. Just pull up to their house. Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to say pull up to their house and then call them so they can walk out. But you can't even pull up to their house because you pull in the driveway and then shoot. There's
yeah,
nothing you can do.
yeah,
Just stay in the house, honestly.
nah, for real. Shit. What else we got? What else? Where we want to go from here? We want to get to Coachella.
You
Well,
can.
I don't know. I feel like, I guess we're already on the topic of
Police.
shootings, and police. Yeah, I guess we might as well stick with this Kim Potter thing for a second.
Yeah, might as
Um,
well.
yeah, take this one away because I didn't really look into. I saw the headline, but I didn't look into this at all.
So Kim Potter. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the exact article that I read. So I can get like specific details. Um, oh yeah, this was in Minnesota too. Um, she's getting freed. Kim Potter, the Minnesota officer that shot Dante Wright, she's getting out of jail on Monday after only serving 16 months.
I've heard
16
2 year
months.
sentence. Okay.
And this is the woman that shot the guy after a traffic stop when she said she thought she had her taser out, but it was her handgun and she shot him a bunch of times.
Mm.
16 months for taking a life. Insanity.
It said the state attorney general's office has sought a sentence recommended by state guidelines of just over 7 years.
Even that only getting 7 years is crazy, but to only get 16 months is insane. And I'm gonna bring race into this because she's a white woman.
Mhm.
That's the only reason. That's literally the only reason why she got away.
And what I've noticed is when you are a cop and you make fatal mistakes, they actually give you so much leeway.
Quote unquote fatal mistakes.
Yeah, like it's like, again, like, I think of, hold on, I actually want to look into this case before I say something. Remember Akai Gurley? It was the man who was shot in Brooklyn. This is 2014.
Yeah,
By a police officer. He was shot by like one of the Asian officers who didn't know. That cop didn't even go to prison at all. Okay, will not serve time behind bars at all. So that's what I mean when it's like a 5 years probation and 800 hours of community service. It's like that's what I mean. Like when you're a cop and because there's a difference between you did some foul shit and it gets a certain way. And when I say there's a difference, I'm not saying to me. I don't give a fuck because you still killed someone. But what I'm saying is the difference legally, at least for them, is like, all right, if you did something by mistake, then come on, you're a cop. Everyone makes mistakes. Like they treat those with a level of softness that is
yeah.
insane because it's
You're
like,
making me think too. Did the cop that killed Eric Garner, did he even go to jail?
let's see, let's
They
see.
quote unquote banned chokeholds because of that, but they still do it. But did he even get jail time since it was a
Uh,
mistake?
let's see. Da-da-da. He loses a bid to get his job back. But let's see. That's his
Loses
name.
a bid to get his job back. That tells me that
Gang
he
up,
didn't go to jail.
let's see. Dude is fired. Yeah, nothing is showing that he went to prison. So
No, I know he didn't. For choking a man to death.
lost the bid to get his job back. Lost the bid to get his job back. Got fired. Da da da. Disciplinary record. Yeah, he didn't. He couldn't have went because nothing here is.
Mm-mm.
But
Like you said, they're so lean on these niggas. It's just it was a mistake. I
mhm.
didn't mean to kill him.
and, and and what I mean by that though, right, is like that. There's a lot of cases where I just take someone's life and I say it's a mistake, and it gets put in that category. Versus I genuinely fucked up, but because I'm a cop, wow, oh, you fucked up. That's okay. No, don't worry about it. No, 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 no. We got you. Don't worry about it. Like, and it's just like, bro, I'm sorry. I don't fucking care. There's no world where if you meant to reach for your taser and you reach for your boomer and you take someone's life, then you should serve like again the
You're
7 or 8
supposed to
years
be
is what
a
they were talking about. Yeah.
professional, right? You got trained on this, right? So you should be able to tell first off, the taser and the pistol are on different
Not the
sides of the
same
hilt.
weight. Yeah,
They're
not the
not the
same
same. You
weight.
should be able
All
to tell when you grab it by the handle and how it feels. You should be able to tell, this isn't my taser.
yeah, no, that's shot.
This is reminding me, since we're talking about cops, quote unquote, making mistakes. Did you hear the story about I think it was in New Mexico, the cops showed up at the wrong address and they were coming for domestic abuse and they killed the guy and it was at the wrong address. They didn't even go to the right address. So they bang on this nigga's door. I'm not sure if they said it's the police or not. All I know is it's 3 a.m. This nigga hears banging on his door, so he goes to the door with a strap. Police start shooting at him first, and so he starts shooting back, and then all of them open up fire, shoot at him, kill him. His wife, you can hear his wife screaming in the video, saying, "Oh my god, oh my god." She doesn't know it's the cops either, so she just thinks her husband is in a shootout with intruders, so she starts banging. They shoot back at her too. Luckily, they don't kill her, but the whole time you can hear her screaming in the background. His kids are there. Cops are just useless all around.
Mhm.
You go to the wrong address and kill an innocent man.
Yeah, and that's one of the situations, especially in those situations. Those are the scariest ones because it's like I've seen so many stories of like they at my house. I don't know who they are. They didn't declare themselves, so I just see a bunch of nigga with boomers. What you think I did? I grabbed my shit. Of course I
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
I shoot at y'all. Y'all fry me, and it's just damn. That's unfortunate.
That's
Well, we
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, we both had bangers, so I mean, it's kind of like an even sort of thing. Whoever lost, lost. Bro, what?
This ain't a duel, nigga. What?
Yeah, like yeah, they said, bro, it was 2:45 a.m. I
It's
didn't sign up for
2:45
this.
a.m. and it's seven niggas at my house with guns. What am I supposed to think here?
I'm outside the club with 100,000 niggas.
And also, the cops didn't go to jail, obviously.
No, they wouldn't.
Administrative leave, paid administrative leave.
But yeah, I'm just like, it's just like for me, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I just feel like fatal mistakes shouldn't go anywhere else. Like, If you go to a McDonald's and a guy is adamant to you, hey, look, I'm allergic to something. Don't put that on my burger. Hey, I'm allergic to this. Don't put it on my
That
burger.
nigga will go to jail
And you put it on
immediately.
your burger, bro, at the very least, you're gonna lose your job and you'll never be able to work nowhere else again. And even that is a hard ass sometimes for these cops. Like, even just can you
Sometimes they
not
don't
be
even
a
lose their
cop
job.
anymore? Yeah, like, bro, if you make a mistake like that, can we at least make it so you're not a cop anymore ever? They're like, I'll think about it.
I really fuck with this guy. We got a union. It'll be a whole thing if we get rid of him. Everybody else seems to like him. He seems like an okay guy. He just made a mistake.
Mm.
He made a mistake, huh? Taking a
Speaking
union.
of making mistakes, man, and this is gonna be an insane transition, so just stay with me here. Um, it looks like Coachella made a mistake by booking Frank Ocean, man. A very bad one because what the fuck is going on here?
So I thought he just threw up a shitty performance too at first, but after looking into it, apparently he broke his ankle.
Right.
Um,
So so the way this was, I guess, supposed to go was there was some sort of ice skating rink that was supposed to
yeah.
be set up in the middle of the desert, by the way, which just goes to show Frank Ocean is a nutcase. But there's supposed to be some ice skating rink. There were ice skaters who were also mad about there not being this ice skating performance or whatever. And there was all of that. And then apparently Frank went on some bike ride or something like that and fucked his ankle up and canceled the ice skating performance, which to me
Which I
I didn't
get that.
understand because nigga, are you ice skating?
That's
What
what I
am
was
I
about to
missing?
say. Like, I get that you broke your ankle, and so you couldn't really give a crazy good performance,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. So it's like
you weren't going to be skating. So
one, and then two, why would you breaking your ankle stop you from sitting at, say, a piano and just doing your song, singing into a mic, which I've watched you do before.
yeah,
So okay, so that's that. So there was that whole thing in the ice skating rink that was weird. But that didn't pan out, so on and so forth. Then the actual events happen. You come from what people said was 60 minutes late up to an hour and a half late. Some people were saying. You come late as hell to this show for whatever reason. You perform your songs while some people can barely see you on stage, like to the point where you have all these other people who aren't you on stage while you're performing. You have a bunch of like different like there's a screen showing like videos at points where you're not even visible. It's just the screen showing the video. You're hardly singing any of your songs. It's a Spotify. Like he's just playing his playlist and then just rapping along with his songs while they play and y'all sing them. So he
so
does this.
I saw the same clip where he was just like jumping up, while the song was playing, but people were saying that that was only one part of it, and that he was singing the other parts. But still, I mean, come
Oh,
on.
but that's my thing. Like I didn't pay for you to sing sometimes. You're the headliner. And you're Frank Ocean, we haven't seen in 5 or 6 years. Like and this is one of those stories where listen, maybe you had an issue with Coachella, right? Maybe you signed with Coachella and there were some issues there, so you felt like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna give these niggas whatever I give them. The problem is,
The
sure,
fans.
that looks good. Yeah, exactly. Sure, that looks good to Coachella. What about your fucking fans? You don't give a fuck. But now granted, here's what I will tell you, and this is a shock to you. I'm so sorry. Frank Ocean never gave a fuck about his fans ever. He never cared. He
Like you
didn't give a
said, you
fuck
would
what
have
you
put out
niggas think.
music more
He would have done
frequently.
anything different than what he did. Literally anything. Like he could have done a million other things to show y'all he gave a fuck about y'all. But every chance he got, oh, what they want, fuck them niggas. A statement, fuck them niggas. A sentence, fuck them niggas.
I'm gonna say something that might be controversial, might get me canceled,
Talk to him.
but I like Frank Ocean. I listen to his music.
Mm-hmm.
I got some of his songs in playlists to this day,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't understand why he has the fan base that he has. Like I say, he's good, but he's not Michael Jackson. I don't understand the devotion that these niggas have and the clamoring to
Mm-hmm.
see this nigga. Like his voice is nice, but like
Yeah, no, I get what you
I
mean.
don't understand why
I
niggas are going so hard.
I think the mystique is part of it.
Oh, get that bullshit out of here. The
It
whole
is.
mysterious
It
bad
is.
boy
It
trope,
is
man.
though.
Come on,
It
dog.
is. I'm not listen. If
Are
it
his
did,
fans all 17-year-olds?
No, but if it didn't work, then he wouldn't be who he is. You get what I'm saying? Like, if this didn't work, if that wasn't it, then why would they care so much? Like, that's kind of my point. Like, it has to be that because
Yeah,
due to the fact that you have a nigga, I mean, think about it. You even get this with Beyonce to a degree, where Beyonce will just show up out of nowhere and just drop some shit and leave.
but Beyonce,
Beyonce's
first off,
right,
is Beyonce.
understandable,
Secondly, she's even more consistent. This
right.
nigga will disappear for 5 to 6 years. Beyonce, every 2 to 3 years, she just pulling up out of nowhere and dropping some shit.
Understandable. I'm just comparing elements, right? Like I'm not
Mm,
comparing the totality of what it ends up being.
yeah,
Because yeah, there's a huge difference between how Frank Ocean delivers his product and how Beyonce delivers her product. I'm just saying like there's certain different commonalities where you'll see where Frank Ocean is taking blueprints and mind you, part of that is he puts out really good music. So then you have really good music combined with a nigga who does all this weird and esoteric and mysterious shit and you can never really get a good read on him, da da da, this and that. And you get people who, in an age of parasocial relationships, right,
that's what it really is.
where
That is what
every
it really
artist
is.
is my best friend, every artist, I feel like I know them. When you get a guy who doesn't give you enough,
You just clamoring for that
right,
interaction. Give me that.
you're dying to know something more, right?
Please, Frank.
Yeah, you're dying to get more. Like, and I think it's not a formula that works for everybody. We've seen it. We've seen some artists try this and it do not work. Where it's like, buddy, you need to stay in the spotlight. They will forget you. Like, like yeah, I promise you, bro. You cannot go sit down for 9 months. They're going to forget who you are. Like, go stay out there, put a mixtape out, put EP out, 6 songs, anything, nigga. Don't just think you can vanish though. But I think, and again, to answer your question, I don't know. I generally don't know when or what earned Frank that because I listen to Nostalgia Ultra, incredible mixtape. I think it's a classic mixtape. I listened to Channel Orange, classic album in my opinion. Blonde, I liked. I wouldn't call it a classic. The other one, I can't think of it. I can't even
I
think of
don't
the name.
even know the other one. You said the three that I know.
I can't even think of the name
There
of the
was
other one.
another one.
Yeah, there was. I'm trying. Nights. It was Blonde, Nostalgia Ultra.
Nights was on Blonde.
Yeah, Nights is on
That's not
Blonde.
an album. That's a song.
What the hell was that shit called, boy? What was that shit called? Channel Orange, Blonde, Nostalgia Ultra. Shit, was that it?
He had he had a mixtape before he got big. The one with that BMW on the cover.
That's Nostalgia Ultra.
Oh, that's the oh
Yeah,
oh that
that.
had Novocaine on it.
Yeah, that was Novocaine. That was
Uh,
Strawberry Swing, American Wedding. That was all of that shit. Yeah, he was cooking that shit up.
so he has Blonde, Channel Orange, and Nostalgia Ultra. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And Blonde came out 2016, and I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not. Right?
I'm looking on Spotify
Um.
right now. He's dropped random songs. He dropped something called DHL in 2019.
Okay. Yeah. I remember some of those songs. That was that like a Pharrell joint? No, that wasn't that.
Mm.
I'm thinking of another. I'm thinking of biking. Sorry.
The last thing that he dropped was in 2020, and it was Cayendo Side A Acoustic and Dear April Side A Acoustic.
Yeah, no, don't know none of these. But I think
Yeah,
again, but what I'm saying is it's just the age of parasocial relationships because I'm watching people do listen, there's people I know who sort of have this sort of fandom, like the Frank Ocean shit, for fucking Absol. And I'm sorry, this is not a stray at Absol. This is not a chance for me to shit on Absol. I like Absol.
oh, I
I'm
fuck with that though. I like
I'm
Absol.
simply just saying there is no reason that Absol should be getting this. Like, you get what I mean? Like, people don't. Why are you getting this? Like, why are niggas clamoring for any and everything? But again, some of that is that parasocial relationship shit, where y'all put out songs for me that mood me in such a way that I'ma always stick by you. I'ma always look for you. And to me, I'm that guy. Like, when I hear about something, like, listen, if they told me a Frank Ocean album was coming out, I would run to go listen to it. I'm just like what I
I wouldn't
learned a
necessarily
long
run, but I would definitely listen to it.
what I learned a long time ago, and that's before even I want to say before Blonde came out, was just like I can't depend on you to satiate my thirst as a fan. Like I
Yeah,
can't depend on you to do that because you don't give a fuck. You simply don't care what your fans have to deal
you
with.
exactly. You don't give a fuck about the fans. You are one of them niggas that care about the art. You care about the music. So you put out music when you good and damn ready. That's literally
But
what it
even
is.
that is tough to say because remember he put out that. Do you remember when he was signed to Def Jam and he put out that all like that visual album of him just sitting at a piano doing a bunch of shit and
Yeah.
da 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 to get off of his deal, right?
Hmm.
He puts that out. Then the next day he dropped Blonde,
Yeah.
which is the actual album, right? So that was on Apple Music exclusive, da da da, all of that shit. So for me, I just think that, and then of course there was some shit that happened with his brother and all of that, and his brother passed away, rest in peace. But my whole point was, I was just like, listen, like I'm just here to tell you right now, when people pay for money for a Coachella ticket, the Coachella parking pass can be upwards of $800.
Sheesh.
That's not including my hotel. That's not including my flight or driving out here if I'm somewhere, local. That's not including the money I'm gonna spend on food. That's not including the fact that Coachella is a weekend. So there's 3 days of this. Like, dog, I'm sorry if you show up and you provide a performance where you show up an hour late. You say you cut your set short because it's a curfew. So sorry guys, that's the end of my set.
Wait, that's why you cut his set short?
He cut his set short because it was curfew. It was the
Why
end of
was
his
there
set.
even a curfew?
So the problem with the Coachella is they've been having curfews because they are legally like obligated to have the grounds for a certain amount of time, right? So it's
If
like
Coachella themselves, Mr. Coachella,
Mr.
didn't
Coachella.
say cut the set short, nigga, you keep going. They paid for a full show.
Yeah, right, right. And so I think the only thing that ends up happening is they just get fines as it goes on. But I'm like, nigga, you're Coachella. I don't give a fuck what your fine is. You eat that fucking fine. If I got a show to do, nigga, this bitch will run over 45 minutes. I don't care about no curfew. Nigga, you figure it out. But again, that's not what he decided to do. There was a lot of things here to me that just goes to show, like, this is not about y'all. This is not about y'all. Like, some artists will give fans the illusion that it's about them. Some artists will kind of really give fans the idea that it's about them. Frank Ocean, at no point is he's making it clear to y'all, this shit is not about y'all. It's not about y'all. I did not know Frank Ocean wrote some of these songs, but it's not about y'all.
Some
So
of my songs. You talking
he
about
wrote
behind the scenes?
it was some older joints. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He wrote Quickly by John Legend, some Brandy songs, a Beyonce song.
It's
Uh
crazy that niggas that write music sometimes need a break from writing music, so they have other niggas write the music for them. John Legend, before he was even a famous singer, he was a writer, right?
mhm.
But now that he's, made it, he got other niggas writing songs for him.
That was old. It was a song Quickly. That was from an album. It was one of John Legend's early albums.
Mm.
Not Get Lifted. It was I think the second one. What was that album? What was the name of that? Evolver. Evolver.
Evolver,
Do you remember that
Nobody,
album? That was
yeah.
a really good album from John Legend, by the way. I'm not a huge John Legend fan. I kind of fell off of him after that, but that was a really good album. Evolver was a great album. Uh, what else? What else? What else? So yeah. So needless to say, I mean, I don't know what to make of this, but to me, it's just like this is nasty. When your fans pay thousands to come see you, and you're a headliner, to the point to where they have to remove you from headlining because of all of this shit going on. It's just
So I've seen conflicting things. Did they remove him or did he step down because of his broken ankle and he knew he couldn't perform like he needed to for the second day?
I don't I don't know. And if I'm a fan, I don't fucking care. What's the
True.
difference? Nigga,
I'm
I
not
paid my
saying that.
money
I
and I'm
think
not
it's
seeing
more.
you. Yeah, like that's my whole thing. I paid money and I'm not seeing you. Because especially as a fan, if it was you deciding to step down, that makes me more mad. Because what the fuck do your ankle fracture got to do with you're a singer? Nigga, you're not fucking Travis Scott. I don't need you to be jumping around. Yeah. Like I
He's
don't need
probably,
that from you.
he's probably thinking about the performance. Like he wanted to jump around like Travis Scott. I
Nigga.
don't think any performer wants to put on a show like Beyonce or The Weeknd.
Wouldn't just sit down in one spot and just man, look, dog. Look, dog. Have you seen Frank Ocean's performances? He don't be doing too much. So
I
like
have
that's
not.
so
I've
that's my
seen
whole
it.
point. So it's like you don't be doing much anyway, bro. Go sit your ass down there. The fuck? Go sit down and let me see. Like, what is the problem? I've
That's
watched.
another thing. Like, is his performance live so much more incredible than his songs that you got to see him live? You
I
just
don't
got
know.
to hear this nigga sing.
Mind you, even with all of this shit that happened with his set, I still watch people who are fans that are just like, "Yo, thank you so much," and da da da. And I,
Oh
again,
no, that's dick
parent,
sucking.
it really is.
You are
But
glorking on it, yeah.
yeah, like, and then mind the nigga was doing covers and shit. He only performed a few of his songs, some snippets of the
Oh
song.
no, come on. He's
He
doing covers.
lip synced many of his other tracks. He brought out a piano player to lip sync one of his songs. Then he brought out a DJ to play an EDM remix of a bunch of his songs while he wasn't there.
Dog.
The
Take
screens,
it out of your mouth. Don't defend this.
the screens ended up panning over to a security guard who was dancing. And then
What?
he performed a cover of an Aaliyah song before announcing at 12:22. After a long silence, guys, I'm being told it's a curfew, so that's the end of our show. Thank you so much.
Nah, this is nah.
He eventually addressed the crowd. He spoke about his late brother who died in 2020 after a car accident. Noting how his brother,
Again, rest in peace to your brother. But what the fuck does me as a fan listening to you sing right now have to do with your brother?
yeah, like, and so he was basically saying like that whole shit. Um, yeah, no, and it was bad. It was bad. Let's see. He didn't acknowledge the delay. He got up there late as hell. He performed reworked versions of Novocaine, Crack Rock, and White Ferrari. There was long silences between some songs, eliminating any sense of flow, and giving the impression that he was just winging it. Like, buddy, do me a favor, stay in the fucking house. Stay in the fucking house, dog. I like you. Don't ever do this stupid shit again to me, nigga.
Don't
Like,
make me dislike you, nigga.
yeah, no, you already have done that, right? So at this point, brother, just stay in the fucking house. That's all I ask of you. Stay in the house and drop that album whenever you're gonna drop it. I don't want to hear inklings. I don't want to hear rumblings, rumors. Cut it out. Shut up and dribble. Sorry. Sorry. It's over with. It's over with for you. Shut up and ice skate. I don't know. It's over for you. Uh,
Tragic. You're trying to cancel another black man in
sure
today's
am.
day and age?
Sure am.
Damn, I
Where does
didn't even
that leave
know that
us?
shit.
Where does that leave us? Yup. Where does that
Huh?
leave us?
Y'all won.
Sure am. Oh, it's some of you black man. Ooh, listen here, buddy. If it was up to me, if I was the one setting agendas, yeah. Yeah, it'd be a bad day in America for some of y'all.
Coachella only hiring white artists from now on.
Oh no, we hiring
Frank
niggas.
Ocean did that.
We just ain't hiring Frank. Get your ass on the fuck up out of here. Go ahead. Get the fuck on. Get the fuck on. I should be talking to the grit teeth. Put that down. Put that Frank, put the Coachella headlining down. Now. But I was just what now I have a Bobcat in my car. Video shows Bobcat pulled from front of sedan.
What?
I don't know, man. They in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. That makes it make less sense. How you get a Bobcat in Wisconsin?
Let's see. DoorDash driver kidnapped and assaulted by man while attempting delivery at Tampa hotel.
Hello? What is going on, bro?
Oh no. They when they said assault, they left out one of the adjectives before it. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good.
So he delivered to a hotel and
No,
they
she
pulled him
delivered
in.
to a hotel and then
Oh,
yeah, you know where this is going.
death penalty. Get him out of here.
Sad skiff. Put him and the farting sniffing dude in the same circle. Same circle. You two, come on. Come on.
Oh
Round
man.
him up. Do we want to talk about this Bud Light shit? We didn't mention this at all, but this is actually
Are you talking about like the actual controversy or the fact that they made a shell company, a fake company to pander to the anti-woke people? I think that's
uh
more interesting than the actual controversy itself.
it
It's like we
is.
could glance over the controversy and then talk about how they tried to find a way to skate around it, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. So the controversy, real quick, was there is a trans, I guess, content creator named Dylan Mulvaney who did a like TikTok only ad with Bud Light. Mind you, this ad
First off,
was
how would these Bud Light drinking real red-blooded
I,
Americans that don't use TikTok
you
even
know
know?
how. You know how because someone's always watching these folks. Like that's the problem for the community. Y'all sure don't like somebody always seem to have eyes on them, huh? But anywho, so this was like TikTok only ad that was only posted, if I'm not mistaken, on Dylan Mulvaney's TikTok. This wasn't even on Bud Light's TikTok.
Screaming.
This was one
How
can.
did y'all even know then?
This
Did
was
you?
one can. You know how they know they're watching. They like these people. Like
So you follow him is what I'm getting. Or
Yeah.
wait, is Dylan? So I'm assuming this is a male.
Listen. I'm so sorry, Dylan. I don't know nothing about Dylan's fucking
I don't either. So I'm just
she
assuming that
she
she.
yeah she.
I'm not going to make fun of you, obviously, because I support trans people. But the name you picked is ambiguous. I'll say that. I don't. I think the only Dylans I know are people that look like they might shoot up places.
Like they gonna blow New
That's
Jersey up.
that's an interesting name for a woman.
Um.
Dylan Roof. That's one.
Oh god.
I'm
Um.
just that's an interesting name to pick. That's all
So
I'm
so
saying.
so my whole point being right is that this was not posted any like Bud Light never at any point gave this like any juice. This was
Yeah.
posted on Dylan. Dylan posted this on Dylan's platforms, and that was kind of it. Like this should have probably started and ended there. But again, because there's this obsession, right? They bought this
Yeah.
out, and then this became a whole thing where I'm going to boycott Bud Light. And what I ended up finding out, though, right, which I thought was really interesting, because this is the one thing I like about controversies, because someone does the work, and I end up finding out something new.
Hmm.
Bud Light apparently has had deals with specifically the gay community since the 70s, because there was a lot of bars that were like gay bars and LGBT bars that, again, people like, there were other liquor companies that just weren't going to serve their shit there.
Right.
And so Bud Light was like, well,
Fuck
yeah,
it. That's an
fuck it,
untapped
we'll take
market.
it.
That's
Yeah,
their brand.
exactly. It was like it's the whole Pepsi deal, right? Like where we not gonna sell the Negroes, we not. And Pepsi was like, "What y'all mean y'all not gonna sell the niggas? I'll sell them niggas. Yeah, come on, y'all want? Yeah, I'll buy your shit. Yeah, I'll take your money. Come on." So Bud Light has a long history with the gay community, right? It's always been like the beer of choice at these pride parades, the bars, and so because it's just the cheap. First off, it's cheap as shit.
Right.
And two, they've been, working these deals over 50 years. So I thought that was really interesting, which just goes to show, like, again, bigots don't fucking know anything about history. Because you are mad at a beer company that has historically had a half a century deal with the gay community. Buddy, you're picking the wrong tree to bark up. Um, so the people proceeded to go stupid and go nuts and destroy Bud Light shit all over the place, da da da, this and that.
One thing that I love about all of these people, whenever they decide to boycott something, they immediately go to, well, I'm gonna destroy all the shit that I have, buddy.
I'm gonna go
You
buy some shit.
already paid for it. They don't care. This whole public display of you burning a Nike shoe or this Bud Light lantern that you have in your home built bar, you already paid for it.
Yeah, you
What do
already
you
bought it. Yeah.
what do you think they're gonna do when they see this? Because I guarantee you they're not gonna do nothing.
Yeah, one. And then two, y'all will go out your way to buy the shit just to destroy it, which again,
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
but
If
this
you
is
didn't already have this, going out of your way to buy this to film a video to put online.
but
First off,
these are I told you we're talking about a population that has never been oppressed. You don't understand what boycott means or how it works. You just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to you because in your head, why wouldn't I go out buy it and show my disapproval? That's not what it's about, buddy. Um, so long story short, there were tons of calls for boycotts and shit like that. And at first it just kind of seemed like, oh, all right, whatever is going on. And then Bud Light decided to release a statement basically saying, like, we didn't want to be part of nothing divisive and da da da. And I was like, this
oh
is
come on.
so cowardly.
Yeah. First off, y'all been with the LGBT community since what'd you say, the 70s? And you're gonna say we didn't mean to make something divisive because your main base, I guess, is fucking rednecks and right wing dickheads?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, literally the marketing executive who oversaw this partnership is taking a leave of absence, for I guess for obvious reasons.
Oh my god.
And I just thought like this was kind of nuts because
I was hoping y'all would double down or something.
yeah, now granted, Dylan Mulvaney has 10.8 million followers. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I mean, I guess I get what they were
She
going
don't give a
for.
shit.
Yeah, no, she don't care. And then she probably got even more off of this shit too. But
Yeah,
it's
hopefully.
just, it's just like, so now that we've established the baseline, right? Which is just, the same old bullshit. Like people arguing over an ad that you probably shouldn't even been able to see, but of course y'all go looking for that gay shit. So of course y'all always see
Y'all
it.
go out of y'all way to be offended, and y'all call people snowflakes.
Yeah, y'all will go looking for this and then blast it to everybody else. Look what Bud Light's doing.
Yo, y'all see this, yo? Where'd you find that?
But the part that kills me is this ties in with the Phil Jackson point. These idiots and these racists and these bigots get so mad when people pander. And they are fully aware that these companies don't actually care about these communities. You're just mad that they're pandering to them, which is even worse.
Yeah,
Like,
you just want them to pander to you 24/7.
this to me, like this strikes me as like, please stop.
What
Yeah.
your internet just went out randomly?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been turning off last 2 days.
We
I don't
can.
fucking know.
It doesn't matter. You can
Like
edit that
just
out.
turning on. I don't know. Um. Yeah, no, I got it that part out. But what was I saying? So we laid the groundwork for what actually was happening with the whole Bud Light thing. But the part that actually was nuts was to me, um, was like the fact that, like you were saying, with the brewery. So then this grifter comes up
Anti-woke.
and
Yeah.
decides, you know what? We are missing a woke or no, a not an anti-woke beer. Are you tired of politics in your beer? And then proceeds to give me a beer called Ultra Right. Gotcha. Understand. Like this is what I keep like this is the part that kills me. Again, the same analogy with the Phil Jackson thing. You niggas screaming about how it's political,
Yeah,
political,
literally what
political,
you
and
want.
then fight for a world where it is political, just in a different direction. Like and think we don't and and think we don't hear y'all. Like, but you'll sit up here and scream about how this is
How
so
could that
woke and then call
possibly
your
have to
beer
do with
ultra
politics?
right, which I don't know is surely has nothing to do with politics. But how could it? No way. Right? So then you do all this, and then it's like, dog, like the part that blows mine is um they did this whole thing where the guy that had the brewery, and then so people and they asked him
No,
where
you
was
know
your
that's the
brewery
best
at,
part.
and he said,
People are
Northern
asking where the
Illinois,
brewery is
and then people started
because
scratching their
the
chin like
prices of this ultra
Northern
right beer
Illinois.
were so insanely expensive. Oh, okay. I think that's my favorite part about
Oh
all
no,
of this.
yeah, no, no. Listen, I didn't leave that part out. I was gonna get to that. I promise you. Right? So that is my favorite part, but
Yes,
they
Chicago,
mentioned Northern Illinois. Now, granted, no one describes Northern Illinois as
O
Northern
Block.
Illinois. Um, you're referring to a place called Chicago.
Ultra right is
But here's
brewed
the
in O
problem.
Block, yo.
Remember, yeah, we're they all O Block with the brewery. No, I'm screaming. Not they brewing it
You
on
got
63rd. They brewing it on 64th and 62nd. Like, um, but literally, like the part that killed me. So you refuse to say the
wait,
word Chicago just
why would
because
the
you know
audience
your
feel a way about
dumbass
it being
audience will
brewed in
feel a way about
Chicago?
it being brewed there. So you say Northern Illinois instead, which I thought was hilarious. Because Chicago, for a very long time for the right, was one of those places that was just fodder for anytime I wanted to talk about
Um,
violence, I'd bring up Chicago. Anytime I want to
so
talk about
as
like debauchery,
black
I want
people,
to bring up
we
Chicago.
think of
Because again,
Chicago
we're
a
talking about
totally
all the
different
gang
way than
violence
I would
there,
think
all
most
of
white
that
people do
stuff.
because
So it's like,
there's plenty of white people in Chicago. They're just not obviously in our Chicago. Exactly. That's
yeah,
what
and there's
exactly
plenty
why
to Chicago besides
I
the
didn't think they
fucking
would have a problem with it,
warring
but you're
GD
right.
and
If they just throwing
GDKs.
out
Like, what do
stats
you
on
mean?
violence
Like,
and
like
niggas killing each other, then yeah, I guess that's why they would hate it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was their thing for the longest. So which is again why they say Northern Illinois, not Chicago. And then so someone asked, like, oh, it's coming from Northern Illinois, da da da. And there's like, so let me ask a question, like, why is it so
It's
expensive,
fucking
right? Because on this
absolutely
site,
insane.
it was $35 for a six-pack plus the shipping, right? That is unbelievable. That is a 24 type beat. Like, but old boy says here and says, "Oh, so basically, we gotta cross a threshold first and raise enough money to get to where we need to get to, so we can lower the prices." So for the time being, it's gonna be 35 and da 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 this and that. Which one is utter bullshit. This is how the grift works. I overcharge you for the liquor. And then what happens is, say it's 35 now, I drop it down to 28 and say, see, 28 is still ridiculous for a six pack, but don't worry about it. Because it's ultra right beer, remember? But then the funniest part is, come to find out, this is literally just white label beer. Right? And what white label beer is essentially you just take beer from a established brewery, right? Like say for example, like what's the name of the Bud Light one? Anheuser Busch. Like Anheuser Busch will put out white label beers, which are beers
That's
brewed at their
hilarious.
breweries that someone can then put their shit on and sign a licensing deal with, basically. So so like I say, I'll like, all right, it's not quite Bud Light, it's not quite I don't know what else these niggas own, but like it's somewhere in between a couple of these other beers. Now, if you want to sign a licensing deal for say doo doo doo, I can let y'all license these out. And so what ends up happening is these niggas were looking at, when people were looking at, well, what breweries in Chicago can handle the number of orders you would presumably have. And when they looked, they disqualified one of the smaller breweries, like, nah, probably not them. And that only left two
No, tell
breweries.
us.
One, which is Goose Island. Do you know who Goose Island is
Oh
a
man,
subsidiary of?
crazy turn of events.
It's Anheuser-Busch. It's Anheuser-Busch. They're owned by Anheuser-Busch, right? And the other one was directly Anheuser-Busch. So it was literally you either work for them or you work for their son who works for them. So so again, let's just run off the stats out the beginning. You were mad that Bud Light had a trans supporter or trans woman doing promo for the company. So in protest, you created a super ultra right beer. Well, same thing, but ultra right beer. Um, and then the ultra right beer is brewed in Chicago at the brewery of the same niggas we're supposed to be boycotting.
That's the anti-woke.
And you're charging me $35 for a six pack from the brewery. From the brewery of the same nigga I'm supposed to be boycotting. I'm just making sure we're getting this right.
That's the price
I
you
just want to
pay to
be
be a real
sure I
person,
have
not
all
an
the
NPC bot
information at hand,
like all the
right?
libs.
Like
Honestly, I like it. I appreciate it,
the
honestly.
grift
But
never
especially
stops,
the
dog.
fact that I love the
And yeah,
most is that they're charging more for these dickheads.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, but my only issue then ends up being is that like, sure, this is great that like y'all are scamming these niggas. But the problem with me is that you're also confirming their belief systems while you do so. And that's also my
Yeah.
problem because yeah, sure, you're taking money out of the pocket of some dumbass and whatever, but like you're also a dumbass. And you're just taking it, redistributing it amongst other
Also, I like the
dumbasses,
fact that they didn't
and then
stand
you're
10 toes
actually
down and double
making the
down
thought
on
pattern that they
the
believe in
LGBT.
worse.
They said they
So
didn't mean to make things divisive and pick a stance. I don't really fuck with that, considering y'all been taking their money.
no, I don't fuck with that at all. I don't fuck with that at all, actually. But what I thought was hilarious though was that that same brewery that they allegedly dealt with said that they didn't want to work with him after seeing Old Boy's ads, which I thought was hilarious. So it was just like, so none of
So the
this really
brewery
worked out
that
then, did it?
was secretly Bud Light anyway has decided they
Let me
didn't want
see
to
if I
work
can
with him
find that.
anyway.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let's see. It was so this guy who launched it, the Woke Free Brew, right? The
Hilarious.
brewery tapped to produce it, dropped the contract after seeing the transphobic marketing campaign. Which again, I mean, he launched a beer called Conservative Dad's Ultra Right
Wait,
100% Woke
so
Free American beer.
so
I
my
just
question
don't
is,
know
I thought
what
this was
else
a
you would
grift
call
the
that.
whole time, and I thought
Um,
the guy that made the beer, the spokesperson that was on Twitter promoting it, I thought this was a fake person this whole time. So this is a real guy, but he's using a Bud Light brewery.
Mm-mm. He's a huckster. Well, he now they're saying it's Bent River Brewing, right? Which is another one. It's supposed to be brewed and canned by them in Rock Island, Illinois. The
Mm,
brewery, however, contested that they were ever involved with the project and said their name was used without permission. All they said was we were approached to possibly contract a beer for a customer, nothing more. Without our knowledge, our name was listed on the website for a
God,
brief period of time. When we were made aware of the marketing, we chose to pass on producing it. So now what I'm saying is someone's brewing your shit, even though the website now says it's $20 for a six pack, which is still nuts, but that's not including every other fee that you're paying with it. Yeah, no. I mean, this is just not it, in my opinion. Uh but it's
literally.
hilarious though, right? Because it's just like you niggas will say and do anything. You know what I mean? And it don't like and again with this group, you don't even have to be accurate. You don't have to make sense. You could just say and do anything. And like it's one of those ones where like I always wish I just had
Yeah, remember that one black girl from
the
like
cojones
I don't know
to
4 years
steal
ago?
from these people.
Yeah, she was saying she was a Trump
Um
supporter and got kicked out by her family, and all the Trump supporters gave her
yeah,
money.
who's selling the hats?
It's
I
so
do
easy to
remember.
take from these people because they're brain dead.
Mhm. Because with them, it's just about being on the right side, quote unquote, and saying what you. So it's like they don't care what you say. They don't care about the actual truth. It's just like, oh yeah, my parents kicked me out for being
Which
a
is
Trump supporter.
incredible.
Whoa, $50,000. I got you. Don't even worry about it.
I don't. So like I
Like,
feel like this white guy
yeah,
that's making
unbelievable.
this beer company, he can get away with this grift, but I feel like the shit maybe his past for black people trying to do it. Because I feel like they're hip after that black girl that scammed all that money. Which might I say she didn't have to get nothing back. So good for her. You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think they're very hip at all. Mm-mm. I like, and to me, these are just further
Wow.
examples. I think racism plays a part. Like, the grift may not work as
Yeah.
well with the black person because like you gotta over prove to me that you're really who you say you are. But to me, no. I mean, I think the grip works regardless. If you
You
can
don't
but
alienate
I think that's
yourself. You're
always the
gonna look
scary part
crazy to
about the
most
grift, right? Is
people.
that you have to fully go into it. So it's like it's not like right, yeah. And that's what I said because I remember I was talking to my brother and he was like, "Well, how would you feel about that?" And I was like, "Again, me not knowing you're grifting, I'm gonna think you're the same as them. So I'm just gonna think you're a piece of shit. Once I find out you were grifting, oh, I'm gonna laugh about it. It's gonna be hilarious to me." But yeah, no, you do run the risk of me just never knowing that this was a grift and me thinking you're a terrible piece of shit the entire time. Like you run
Exactly.
the risk. Like that's my whole thing. Like while it's happening, I'm never gonna think because you have to sell me, right? Like you can't have it be known that this is actually a grift because then the grift doesn't work. So I have to believe you're really who you say you are. And if I do believe that, then I think you're a piece of shit. However, once I know later on, oh, you was just, yeah, that's funny as fuck. That's hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's funny. But it also depends what you do. Like if you were just buying MAGA hats and then reselling them, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna laugh at that. But like if you were on social media making videos talking about people doing it, like no, you were actually feeding into the machine. No, sorry, I'm sorry, that's not the one I'm gonna let slide. Like yeah, it was a grift. Yeah, you were just trying to get your bread, but like you actually created
Yeah.
content, said these things, did these things, interacted with these people, befriended. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, no,
It's
you actually
it's like I
bought
always
fully in. So
say,
even if
like
you're faking just to get their money,
I would rather
I
you
still
just
think
be
you're a nasty
full
person.
on
I don't think
racist,
maybe
full on Trump
you're not the
supporter, full
same
on
piece of
right wing
shit.
dickhead than be doing it for money. Like people like Tucker Carlson or people like Joe Rogan that don't actually believe what they're saying, they're just doing it for a check. Most of the people that work at Fox, Sean Hannity, the fact that you would throw away your morals for some bread, I would that to me that's worse than actually being the person you're pretending to be. And I know a lot of people at Fox News are actually like that, but I don't know if you've seen
Mhm.
Tucker Carlson reporting before he was at Fox News. Nigga did a complete heel turn. Everything, and I know you've seen the interview where he's broken character before, and when he was doing the interview with Kanye West, and he was looking at even Kanye West like he was crazy. Oh, and that one clip when he was interviewing Matt Gates, and he was like a 17-year-old girl, and then Matt Gates said
Mhm.
17-year-old woman, and then Tucker Carlson was stunned in silence for like 5 to 10 seconds. Like,
Yeah. I
no,
Stuff
no,
like
no, no.
that though, my whole thing is like
I'm not
none of that
saying that
proves anything
he,
to me. Like that doesn't prove to me
but
you don't believe in this script. It just proves to me you may have limits. Like
I
I
was
think
gonna
Tucker
say,
Carlson really believes
look
that
at
shit. Like Joe
older
Rogan, I
Tucker
think I
Carlson
think these people
before
may
he
not have
joined Fox.
always
He
believed
wasn't
it.
on this level, but I will agree what you just said, where he might not have always believed it, but after being in the echo chamber for however many years, now maybe he does. But if you look at him interviewing people and him as a reporter before he joined Fox, he was a totally different person. And the fact that niggas just, like I keep saying, niggas sign up to make money and throwing away their morals is just crazy to me. Now, Joe Rogan, like you said, I don't think Joe Rogan actually believes the shit he's saying in the slightest. I think he's just doing it for a check. 1,000%. 1,000,000,000%. Joe Rogan to me is one of the worst people on the planet.
Mhm.
How you go from talking about DMT and smoking weed and being this person to having people like Jordan Peterson and all these other fucking dickheads on your fucking podcast?
Mhm. Yeah. And so that's what I always feel like. With some of them, it's like some of them I don't believe y'all, some of them I do. But to me, the belief actually don't really even matter because like it just comes down
Exactly.
to if
You're a
you are
piece of
doing
shit
it
either
and you're
way.
having the same effect as a guy who does believe it, then it would never matter. Like you part of the
Wait,
problem,
before we
so
move
it's
on, you
like who
remember
gives a
when
shit? I don't care.
Joe Rogan got COVID
What
and
else
he
we got? What
said he
else we
was
got?
taking
What else we got?
ivermectin? He wasn't he wasn't taking ivermectin.
Mhm.
No, like that's confirmed now. We know he wasn't taking
Oh,
ivermectin
okay.
and
Well,
was
yeah,
just saying it.
yeah.
I don't know if it was for a check. I don't know if ivermectin was paying him or if just because his fan base was so rabid and wanted to use ivermectin so much, he just had to
Yeah, I
go
think
with
it
the
was
flow.
that. Like, yeah, because at the time, like, you just had to, like,
Sick shit.
yeah, no.
Destiny too.
I was screaming. I seen that there was a. This is totally unrelated to Destiny too, but there was like a unrelated. There, yeah, it's Destiny too. There was like a legendary shard farm that was
Oh,
found,
I'm
and when I
screaming.
tell you within
Well, yeah, it's
hours they
because the
patched
game
this
is
thing,
fucking
when
it's
people
free
have
to
been
play,
screaming for
so the
patches for
whole game
bugs,
is
bro,
based
and it's just
around
like that shit
having
is
to
so frustrating.
grind to get the materials you need for shit. They're not gonna let you do some shit that's easy. They've had guns that are completely broken in this game. Like every auto rifle pretty much
Mm-hmm.
was broken in a bad way for the entirety of Lightfall, and they didn't fix them and give them a necessary buff until the mid-season patch that just happened this past Tuesday. Now auto rifles are actually good in PvE. They don't give a shit when the shit is broken in when shit is broken
Yeah,
in
no,
favor
that
of
shit
the
was funny.
player, they're gonna pass the shit immediately. When shit is broken and doesn't affect the bottom line, they don't give a fuck.
They're like, whoa, the economy. Hey, woo, hey, wait a minute. Niggas start going crazy over the
Oh,
economy.
nigga, no, absolutely not.
It said gamers over 50 feel like games aren't designed for them. They're not. Not to
I was gonna say, nigga, games are barely
not to
designed
be
for us now.
mean.
We're a
I
dying
would argue
breed.
games ain't even really designed for niggas over 30 no more. For real, for real. Yeah, literally. Like, I'm like, bro, these games are designed
Which
for
I don't
niggas
know
who
why
are
you're
anywhere
complaining. I
from
mean,
fucking
we're
14
adults
to
playing games, but
20
we can all admit that
at
gaming
best.
is a child act, right? It's for children, right?
Nah,
Oh, okay. Well,
nah, nah. Fuck what that nigga talking about.
I,
Fuck what you talking
my
about.
bad. I just,
Yeah, nah. Disagree.
I mean, well,
Like,
no,
nigga,
there's
Elden Ring is not for no
well,
kids.
hold
What the
on now.
fuck?
The new
God
the
of
new
War ain't
God
for
of
no
War, I definitely
kids,
played, but I
nigga.
was playing God of War as a kid. Maybe I shouldn't
That
have
shit
been.
for me,
I
nigga.
definitely shouldn't have been, but I was playing it. I mean, nigga, I was playing Gears of War, chainsawing people in half
Yeah,
with
you
a
shouldn't have.
gun in
You
eighth
literally
grade.
shouldn't have.
Oh, wait, nah, hold
Ah,
on now.
nigga. I was doing that too. I just wasn't
Any
playing
niggas
Gears of
that
War.
came
But
up
so
chainsawed in
let's
New
get up out of
Jersey,
here.
look into this nigga.
Yeah, let's get up out of here. He said, any of the, you look and you're like, surprisingly, there have been quite a few. They seem to stop
That
around
is a crazy coincidence. Yeah,
around the
dog.
time you went to college. That's a weird coincidence, huh?
How does something like that just happen? That's man, weird.
That's actually kind of wild, for real, for real. Wow, man, no way, no idea. Da-da-da. I think that's it, right? I don't know. I ain't got nothing else. I thought I got a Bobcat in my car. I got a.
What else we got
It's
on
like
here?
I say it in the
Let's
voice.
see.
I got a Glock in my
People
Rari.
don't want to admit it, but Ray Schramer makes good music. That's a
uh,
fact. They do. I don't know if anybody.
they do. That they do. I think they're inconsistent a little bit in terms of like they don't be dropping music
Not
regularly,
up to
and
par.
then I think when they do
Yeah.
drop though, like some of they shit is not like it's just certain songs where I'm like, yeah, yeah, it's not up to par,
I thought
and then
I
they do
thought
their
they
solo
broke
shit, and
up.
then the solo shit be
I
lacking. So I
I
think
guess they just split up to do
it's a
solo
couple
shit just
different
because they
reasons for
wanted to
why
make
people don't
solo
see
music.
them
But
as
I was under the impression they broke up. But they came back together for this new album, and this new album is like that. Honestly, I don't know if you listen to it.
I yeah, yeah, I think no, I haven't yet. I've heard a few songs, like maybe 3 or 4 songs off of here, but no, I think I remember with the breakup hearing that, and
Yeah.
I don't remember like the news whether it was a breakup or whether it was like niggas wanted to do their own thing or whatever it was. But I'm sure the powers that be was just like, look, dog, like y'all work together, okay? Y'all do this like together, and we'll be fine.
Oh
Like
well. Yeah.
because y'all money together is infinitely gonna be more than
Even when
what
they
y'all
split
make
up,
dolo.
I
So
don't
like they
think I've
looking
listened
like,
to a
bro, please,
single
y'all
Sway
keep it
Lee or
natural,
Slim
nigga.
Jimmy
Like don't.
project. I've always listened to them niggas individually, either featured on other people's songs or they had a song with other niggas featured. Like you can listen to Sway Lee and Quavo, but you're not just gonna listen to a Sway Lee song dolo.
Mhm.
So yeah, they need each other, man. They belong together. Mariah
Yeah,
Carey
probably
and
not. No.
Gucci Mane. Wait, that's two different songs. We belong together and obsessed is two different songs, but y'all know what I mean.
Oh no. Sure is. They say, man, y'all know what the fuck going on, man. All right. I'm gonna be real with you.
I think we
I'm ready to get the
good.
fuck up out of here. So what else? What else we got?
Let's see.
Anything else worth
No, I think we
getting
good.
on about?
The only other thing I had is that Kai Snake got banned by Twitch, but I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, we probably should have talked about that in our right wing segments and shit, but a lot of the other social media platforms popping up are just again, it's the same grift. I'm gonna like none of these social media platforms ever break even on money, and yet somehow they always can offer you these $80 million, 70, $50 million deals. How do y'all think that is? Like, this is just y'all come here, y'all go. It's like it never works out. But again, it's great for I guess niggas signing deals, but so you get into the chat or Rumble and you realize
I
there's no
mean, Rumble
moderation
is
here, so people
literally,
can
like
call
you
you the
said,
N word
fucking
excessively all the time.
a right wing streaming
And
platform. So what do you think the audience is gonna be on Rumble? I mean, Kick isn't right wing. I think Kick is kind of like, from what it seems like, it's the
mhm.
Wild West of streaming. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's not advertised as Rumble is
Yeah,
literally
which always leans
advertised
which way?
as
Like, that's my
Dickhead
problem,
Central.
like, the Wild West. Yeah, yeah. No, you're right, yeah, you're right. And that's always the part that killed me, where I'm like, anytime you sit up here and scream free speech, we're gonna no moderation, let people talk how they want. You know what that comes with every single time? Racism. Every fucking time. We watch it happen. Every time there's an AI bot that we create and we don't
Or
put
the
any
second
parameters or
Elon
put
bought
any
Twitter,
guidelines on it, guess
the
what it does?
usage
It
of the
gets
N-word
racist
went up by
immediately. Every
80%.
time. Because that's yeah, it gets racist immediately. That's why I'm like, none of the like, even the people who aren't explicitly saying they're right wing, when you run on a certain set of standards and
Right.
foundational principles and values, like, these are values that appeal to which group of people? Which group of people want to be on a social media platform where there's no moderation at all? You can speak freely. There's no one to sit up here and monitor your speech. And we know who wants to be there. It's the people who are gonna say the shit that we don't want to hear. That's the whole reason why they're there. And again, that tends to be who? It tends to be one crowd over the other, is all I'm saying. So, like, that's what I mean when I say it's like, you don't have to be right wing, but the Kick and the Rebel group,
So
I
it's
guarantee the
probably a Venn
demographic of
diagram. They
listeners
meet right in the
and
middle.
participants are probably virtually the same, if not exactly the same. Yeah, oh yeah. And I'm sure there
I
might
don't
be
want to get
more of those
lumped to
niggas
that
on
group.
Kick as opposed to
Yeah,
Rumble because
exactly.
they seem to not like ones that are explicitly uh yeah, yo, don't
It's
market it
like
to
the
me
difference
as
between
a right
4chan
wing
and
concern.
Reddit.
That's yeah,
Like,
stop that.
there's
Yeah,
a
stop that. I'm
certain
just a
group of
guy who
niggas
has
that
some
be on
sense. It's
Reddit
not about being right wing. It's
that be
about
talking like niggas on 4chan, but I'll be damned if I go to 4chan. So I'm not about to
right.
be labeled like one of these niggas. So I'm gonna be on Kick spouting the same shit.
Hmm.
I mean, look, Aiden Ross got kicked off of Twitch and went to Kick and started acting unusual
Hmm.
because he was acting unusual. Yeah,
Right. But mind you, that's part of the reason why he got kicked off of Twitch because he was going down that route anyway. Like that's the part where I'm just like, yeah, man, like this people feel it's that slope. And like I've seen it with all these people. Like I've seen it with that black dude Gideon where he's hanging out with fucking a
yeah.
bunch of niggas where I'm like, oh,
It's
you're hanging out with
it's the same
Keemstar
thing
and
in every
Sneeko.
circle,
Like, okay,
everything,
gotcha.
politics,
Like, gotcha. Again, you're
entertainment.
not
Once you got a certain amount of money, race doesn't matter. I mean, you're still gonna be looked down upon, but they'll still be seen with you. So no matter how much money you got, you can still go hang out with, like Kanye West was hanging out with fucking Milo Yakanopoulos, whatever that nigga name was, Nick Fuentes or whatever. Yeah, once you got so much money, it
mhm.
just don't matter. So of course
Tim
Gideon is
Pool, a
gonna
whole
hang
bunch of
out
other
with
niggas. Nick
Sneeko, who's another
Fuentes.
YouTube
Yeah.
millionaire, and Keemstar, who's a known dickhead but a YouTube millionaire. Yeah, it's just that's just how the game is played when you got money. You associate with filthy niggas that you shouldn't be associating with.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just been when it's been a lot of like so that's why it's just like whether you want to call it right wing or not, I mean, nigga, like you're hanging with right wingers, so like it
Bunch
doesn't matter.
of
Like same
edgy
thing, Rumble,
13-year
Kick, it
old
don't
white
matter because who's your
kids.
crowd? Who's your demographic? Who are the people in your chat? I promise you, it ain't. Yeah,
I feel like at a
like we
certain
know who
point
it
you gotta
is.
grow out
Shit,
of
bunch
that.
of
So
edgy
niggas is
23-year-old
23,
white
not
boys
edgy.
too.
They
Like
just
don't
like
get it
that.
fooled. Like so
No, no, that's what I'm
that be
saying. Like, there's kids that say
no
edgy things
grow out of
because, like,
bigotry.
I mean, oh well, yeah, oh yeah,
No, the edgy should be bigotry though. Like that's my point.
oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
bigotry will drive my edginess. So I'm a bigot. Like I'm a bigot against fat people. I'm a bigot against black people. I'm a big like so it's like no, I might grow out of the edginess. I'm still a bigot though. Like no matter how you slice it. So there's a point in time where maybe I
True.
don't want the super edginess. Like, but no, I'm still gonna be a bigot because that's what empowered all of this shit. So
You
like that's my thing. Like, yeah, you might grow out
That's
first, and not
insane.
to mention niggas don't
How
always grow
niggas
out of
seen them?
being an
Yeah,
edge lord. Like I know
you would
30-year-old
think
edge
niggas would
lords.
grow out of that South Park
I know
phase
them, but
because
you
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying? I've
most
seen
normal people
30-year-old
do grow out of
edge
that,
lords.
but no, niggas make that their entire personality.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to
I
say
mean,
the
bro,
niggas that made South Park
the niggas who
also
made South
grew
Park are in
out
their
of it.
30s. Like that's what I mean. Like when I say
Although
it's like
they were in their
eh,
30s, so it took them a little bit longer, but they grew out of that.
yeah, that's true. Because I always think about it, like put it like this. Like, remember when we used to talk about like
Hmm.
how Twitter used to be the wild, wild west, right? And niggas used to go crazy on Twitter with the dark
Yeah,
skin shit, with fat
that's true.
jokes and this and that. Those were 30-year-olds doing that. Like that wasn't all 16 and 14-year-old kids acting stupid on the
See,
internet in
that's
the
not even
wild.
being
No, that
edgy.
was
That's just
29-year-old niggas
you
with
getting
jobs
your
doing that.
shit off in a free
So like
environment.
that's what I mean when it's just like when you create the circumstances, you could just yeah. Also known as what? Rumble and kick. Like like that's literally that's what I'm saying. Like when you create these environments and these playgrounds for people to get their shit off, you can't then be shocked that people stay in whatever bullshit that they're staying in because now they have a place to get it off. Like, think about it. If I lived in a world that
You
made it
know you
so
into it.
uncomfortable to be a certain way, at a certain point you either bury it or you kind of just gotta get over it and move on from it. Like you got or lean into it or you just move on from it. Like, yo, look, all right, they killing me for playing video games. At a certain point or another, I'm gonna leave these video games alone, or I'm gonna just do it in private where no one knows. You get what I'm saying? But then when you create an environment to where, wait, I can game, I could do, to the point to where think about it, it's some people. If they had a circle of friends that got on and played games every day, dog, they would literally throw around. Think
They
about it.
only want to
Like, look
play
at it like this. It's
solo.
niggas who stop playing
Yeah,
games because a lot of games are multiplayer and I don't got time for it because I got a family. Because but if my niggas was on every day 6 hours,
yeah.
you think I wouldn't get on every day 6 hours and play with my niggas? At 35, there's niggas who would do it. Like you just don't have the environment in front of you, and that's what I mean when I say like these rumbles, these kicks. They create them environments to where I might be a 30-year-old dude who's really on the back end. I'm on the cut. I should be way out of this. Like this shouldn't be on my radar no more as a 30-year-old nigga with a family. But then I run into an environment where it's just, man, damn. I remember when I used to be like that, boy. Oh, I just getting my shit off. Yeah, that was. And then niggas like they just sit there
I'm
because
still
they
gonna
love
come
it
in here and watch
because
niggas
this is
acting.
where they want to
Ooh,
be.
you niggas
But again,
talking
they might
crazy.
be
That
too
used
old
to
to
be
participate. But I
me.
just want to be a spectator. I
Oh
want to
man,
watch.
oh man, I love this. See,
Yeah,
I fuck with this.
yeah, yeah. Like, bro, like because we see that on the good end with a lot of shit, right? Like we watch it with anime, we watch it with video games, sports, whatever. There's 30-year-old niggas watch sports, like, oh man, boy, what sports back in my day, boy? Yeah, these niggas go crazy though, boy, they getting it in. So it's like we see that it's gonna happen with all the worst shit too. All the worst shit. It's gonna happen with toxic masculinity. It's gonna happen with 30-year-old niggas watching these new kids run into these new age fuckheads and think, oh man, like, yeah, man, yeah, y'all getting hip. Yeah, they putting y'all on, man. Y'all getting hip to the game for real. Like, yeah. Like, so it's just nasty. Like, that's why I always hate these environments, like, because it's like, and that was somebody was asking, like, well, y'all sign deals because like all the companies are like, listen, we can argue that YouTube does a lot of racist shit, and they do. We can argue that Twitter does. We can argue that Twitch does. My whole point being though is there's certain things in place that are different than going with a guy who his whole business model is you can do anything you want here. You can be free. This is a place for you to move how you want. I'm not signing a deal with y'all because I know what I'm gonna have to deal with. I know what comes with that. When I go to Twitch chat, I might have to deal with a bunch of assholes and idiots and bigots. But I know that they either have to speak a certain way or they gotta cover it, they gotta mask it. They can't get their shit off entirely. Bro, when I go over there, I understand
Oh
that
yeah, and
them
there's
niggas can
plenty of
talk to
niggas that
me
get
any way they
banned for
like,
when
and to the
somebody says
point to
something
where
crazy
I
and they
might be in the
respond
wrong
back,
for
and then
trying
them
to
niggas just
moderate
go,
this.
"Gotcha,
I might
bitch," and then they report them for saying something back after they was talking crazy. Niggas will talk to you crazy just so they can fucking try to get you banned.
mhm,
Literally.
get that ass banned. Get that ass banned. Like, and so that's my whole thing where I'm like, I just like I always tell people like, bro, you gotta be careful about where you at, what you consume.
Yo, you alive?
Okay, hello.
Yeah, you good? You alive?
Are you talking?
Yeah.
You probably are. I can't hear. All right, well, listen here, folks. I'm having internet problems. I'm ending this fucking stream like right now. I'm over this shit. It's been great. It's been good. We've been like 2.5 hours, some shit like that. Peace.